Hey, yo, welcome to Lapeef Sports. Introduce the crew. We got Cal. We got Anton. We got Hank. We got Jay. Sway in the morning. Me and myself, Lapeef JR. Welcome to Lapeef Sports. Yeah, how y'all doing?
What up, though?
Good morning, fellas.
What's up, man?
All right, y'all. Hope y'all had a
Good morning.
Merry Christmas.
Should be a funny one. Very interesting.
What?
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, man. Hope you
Merry
guys
Christmas.
enjoyed your holidays. It's time to bring you what you want for Christmas.
I got my Christmas present last night.
My girl got me a chain, so a little something.
That's what's up. What about you fellas? Man, Hank, I see you got the beard. Nicely shaped, brother.
Extra.
Yeah, man, I feel like it's a beard war going on. I gotta step my game up. I'm on it. It's a beard war going on here. I gotta get my game together. I'm on it.
And it's kind of crazy. When I said beard, everybody started doing something like that. I don't know what that's all about.
It's top of the new year. I'm on it. Trust me.
Yeah, man.
Hank, you on mute.
You on mute, Hank?
I'm sorry, fellas.
Nah, it's all good, man. Motherfucker look good though, man. Like no homo,
Thank
man.
you, sir.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you,
look
sir.
good, bro. I like it.
Thank you, sir.
Because it was a little thicker, right?
Pause.
Yeah, I had it a little
Awesome.
longer, man. I told my barber I need to cut it down a little bit. Could have cut it down just a little bit.
Okay. Was that did somebody suggest that, or is that something that?
No, it's just something I feel like I had to do. You know, it got way too long. You know, and Mama didn't like it.
Man, mine's curl up. I want my stuff to be like massive like this. It curls up. It come all the way like down here, but it's just a curl up, man. I don't know what that's about. So if you guys got some secrets, y'all let me know about that. But
Hey,
Put the relaxer in there, right? Don't you got to put some relaxer up in there?
It's so long. Nah, he got a flat iron here. He's gonna get this.
no,
That's what I'm
man.
saying.
He like a
don't
braid
like that.
No, don't do that.
Go
Don't
look at
do
the Native
that.
American. He got a braid.
Hey, just train it, man. Keep that pit with the fist on it. Keep it going, baby.
They got like wave caps for beards right now too.
Oh no, man, come on, man. Don't do that.
No. He's dead serious. Yo, I invented that, yo. I swear to God, I invented that. But I didn't move forward with it. In a year later, they were selling them in the store, man.
He ain't patting it.
I swear to God, yo. I ain't patting it, yo.
You might gotta take it.
I swore when I was in elementary school, I made have got milk, but I ain't patting that. So Nike, whoever took it, I swear I was like, this milk is something. I got milk. I swear I've been.
Oh man, good stuff, fellas.
All right, if you're just tuning in, welcome to Lapeef Sports. Make sure you guys get them likes up. Also, subscribe to the channel. Memberships is open too. So if you see that join button, hit the join button and go green. Let's kick it off by talking about the NBA, man. The NBA was heavy in full effect. It was kind of, let's say, a little weak to me.
Yeah.
I was able to catch a little bit of a couple games that interest me, and I do want to highlight those. My couple of games might be different from you guys, but we'll see. I want to talk about the Warriors and Suns game. Let's start off with that one, man. I think that was an excellent game to see, man. I actually thought that it was going to be a little bit closer with score, especially when I seen it. It just seemed like the Warriors just pulled away, man. Let's talk about that, man. Did you guys predict the Warriors pulling this one out, or did you guys have the Suns?
Hey, when I was watching the game, man, I thought the Suns was gonna get them. But then between going to get that dessert at the good Christmas dinner, something must have happened. Chris Paul must have toned down. I don't know. Devin Booker just wasn't hitting like that in the fourth quarter. I don't know what happened, but Steph did Steph things, man. We all know what Steph does, man. But he just did Steph things, man. And to me, he's the MVP right now, hands down, MVP.
Who, Steph?
Yes, sir.
Over KD?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yo, that's funny to hear you say over KD.
Because I know that it's a lot of KD. Listen, I was at the game when he put up 51 on the Pistons. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to be objective. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to be objective. That's all.
He put a 50 because you talk bad to the man. That's why he did it.
I was quiet that day. Listen, I was in the stands like, what's happening right now? I seen James Harden. He ran out of the tunnel with a smoothie. I said,
"Wow,
what are you doing?"
He was hungry, man. You know, you got to eat.
He ran out of the tunnel with a hold on, bro. Let me tell you about this guy. This guy walks out of the tunnel late, dressed for the game. Right, he got on his sweats and all of that, his tearaways and everything. He got a smoothie in his hand. He finishes his smoothie. Then he goes back into the tunnel, changes his clothes, put on some jeans and a hoodie, and then come out and is chilling. Listen, bro, I'm telling you, that's exactly what happened. I'm sitting right there courtside, word for word. This guy is the funniest guy in the league, bro. I don't understand him. He's an anomaly. He's got all of the talent in the world. But a lot of these dudes, man, I just don't think that they got I don't think that they got the love and the passion for the game the way that some people like the Stephs and the KDs and I don't think that they got the love and the passion for the game. And you can see it. You can see it in their body language. You can see it in the way they even walk out the tunnel. You can see it by how serious they take the game and they craft. Like it shows all the way across the board. And we was just looking like, I said something. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? He just looked at me and did and just kept walking. You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk, man. It's the craziest thing ever. But
imagine being a Houston GM. You know, what was that, 2 years ago, and seeing him walk out with a bag of McDonald's on the layup line. Yo, at least he had a smoothie. At least he had a smoothie when you seen him, yo. When he was in Houston, when he gained he was like 40 pounds overweight. Dude had a bag of Arby's, yo, just shooting around.
I think the year before that, when he was in Houston, he had some smoothies. I think that he allowed himself to let himself go a little bit because he saw that all that fitness wasn't, didn't really do anything for him the year prior to that. So he said, you know what, I'm going to go out here with the McDonald's and still, hoop. You know what I'm saying? So I think that that's kind of the difference in his mentality. At least that's how I perceived it, is that, 1 year he was like, I'm gonna go to work out. I'm gonna put in the dedication over the summer and I'm gonna come back ready to play in great shape. And Houston couldn't pull it out. So, he figured I couldn't do it then. So why am I going to kill myself over the summer? Like Scottie Pippen. I'm not.
Yeah, but I don't, bro, listen, bro. On the live streams, bro. When I get on somebody's channel, like if somebody say, Anton, come over to my channel, I want to do a show or whatever like that. I'm on 100% of the time. I'm gonna give them the same performance as if I give somebody if it's 20,000 people watching. I don't change. I have a love for the craft and the game, and I respect it. I respect the game. You know what I'm saying? I respect the fans. I respect the viewers. If it's one person watching, I'm gonna give them the performance of their life. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna give them a better performance than if it's 20,000 people watching. They don't have a love and a respect for the game, in my opinion, the way that they should. And I see the reason why I respect KD so much more and Steph so much more is I believe that they have a passion for the game and a love for the game, despite getting everything they wanted out of it, despite getting paid, despite getting the money and all of that. And I love it. That's the reason why I love those type of guys. It's people that do stuff just for money. Right? You ever see dudes that play for a contract? James Harden is one of those type of guys. He plays for a contract. He plays for a contract extension. When you see a KD, he just hoop. You know what I'm saying? He just loved the game. Now, I don't think that he belong in the same conversation as, people that have come to Michael Jordans and all of that other type of stuff. That's a completely different debate. But when I look at a James Harden, I don't see that same passion and love for the game as I see that goes to other people. I can even take it. Listen, if you grind, that's the reason why I like Giannis so much. You can tell he love this. You know what I'm saying? If I see you grind and you just lose, you know what I'm saying? You just couldn't overcome the hump. And that's why I respect a certain era of players, the Karl Malones, all of those type of dudes. That's different than just seeing dudes sleepwalk and think that it's a game out here. It's different for me. I love the game too much and I respect the game too much to have people like that just disrespect it. And we out here paying money to see these dudes, and they don't. I don't even think that they have the same respect as the people that came before them that helped make the game what it is today. It's disrespectful, bro.
I think that's why Steph has so much respect around the league. You know, I think he pays homage to, you know, when he was breaking the 3-point record, he paid homage to Reggie Miller and Ray Allen. I think he has a real positive impact on the organization, not even just the roster, but his being on the Warriors makes their organization look good, you know, in a way that James Harden doesn't necessarily have that same impact, or even a Chris Paul doesn't necessarily have that same impact on their teams. And so I think that when it comes to these kinds of games, I think that that's why people kind of go with Golden State as a favorite, just because you just assume that Steph, if he has a good game, his impact on the game is going to impact everyone and be a positive influence on everyone, and not just him, you know, just had the stats and chuck up a bunch of threes and just make himself look good. You know what I mean? I think that LeBron was almost experiencing some of that because he broke, you know, the scoring record. And it almost seemed like an afterthought, like it wasn't even a really a big deal, you know, in terms of the lasting impact across the day. At least for me, when I was watching the games, it didn't really feel like that was a big story in a way that Steph's 3-point feat was when he was breaking that and going for that record. So,
well, Steph is MVP front runner, so it's gonna be, you know.
Well, you know, but look, I think LeBron, you know, he's just as much, or at least they're still trying to push LeBron as, you know, the face of the league. I think that's that.
Well, he is still the face of the league. You know how you know he the face of the league? It's because every time people, when you look at Skip and Shannon, when you look at, they gonna lead with a LeBron story. They talk about LeBron in the offseason. LeBron went and bought a house over here. Do you think he disrespected his teammates? He the face of the league.
Yeah.
Hey, it was kind of funny, man. I don't know if y'all, when y'all was watching the game, you kind of see they pan the camera over and you see Clay's face, man. He looked like, man, put me in, coach. I'm ready, man.
Passion for the game, bro.
Man, that's just
Man,
that's what it is.
What happened?
Man.
I thought he was supposed to be playing. What's going on? What's the status with him?
What they talking about? Maybe January. Yeah, they gonna put him back to January.
They're bringing him along slow because the team is rolling, and they say that he already 5-on-5. He playing hard and all of that. But again, you know, I love the Warriors organization, bro. They got a great organization, bro. I just think that they're doing it right.
Andrew Wiggins is playing his butt off right now. You know what I mean?
He looked good. He was cooking us. He was cooking us too.
I feel like
I'll tell you another thing. Marshall ain't back yet.
I'm sorry. Who was that guy with the braids they was talking about? He come up from the G League or something like that, or
I don't know about him. I don't know who
that is. On Brooklyn?
No. Like I'm talking.
No, you're talking about
on
Golden State
Warriors. Yeah, on Golden State. There's a guy that they was talking about. Draymond Green was saying that you guys need to put this guy in. You know, if we're gonna be trying to go for a championship. It was a guy I never seen before because we're starting to see a lot of people from the G League and everybody getting these 10-day contracts. But this guy, I guess he was something special.
Well, Clay's been playing down in the G League for getting himself back in shape. So it's not like he's not active. He's been playing in the G League, getting buckets. So, you know, just got him trying to get him ready. But James Wiseman's about to come back too. I mean, that's another a good piece that they didn't have too much of last year because he got hurt early. But I think he's going to be a hell of a factor for him, man, especially with his skills.
Yeah. I'm still taking Milwaukee all day long.
Speaking about Milwaukee, let's go ahead and transition to that game real quick. So, Milwaukee and Celtics. Yeah, that was a good game right there. That was a good game. I seen that I actually thought the Celtics was going to win this game. Then in the third quarter, the Bucks turned it around. They turned it around, and it's like they took the lead and never looked back. Let's go ahead and talk about that.
Most teams can turn it on in the second half or in the fourth quarter. Like really good teams. Honestly, I think that they was just making it competitive. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a big game for that specific day.
Really?
Yeah, I do. But I think that the Bucks can turn it on. I think that the Bucks have figured out the cheat code to being successful in the postseason. And I think that they can turn it on whenever it is that they want. And, you know, they trying to manage through, you know, all of the different health problems when it comes to, you know, all of the variants and stuff like that. But I think that the Bucks can turn it on whenever they get ready, bro. Whenever they get ready, I think that they just coasting, putting on a decent performance until they get to the playoffs. I think it's going to be a problem in the East. I don't think nobody is even close to the Bucks in the East. Not one team is close to the Bucks in the East.
What do y'all think is the issue with the Celtics, though, man?
I don't think they can finish, man. They've been doing what they've been doing. I don't think they can finish. They just can't finish a series, a game. They just can't finish, man. And I with Brown and Tatum together, I don't think that's gonna work. One of them's gonna have to go. To me, they pretty much the same position. You know, they're gonna both want to get. Yeah, they both gonna want to get that big contract. You're gonna have to let one of them go.
Guy. I didn't mean to cut you off, but here's that guy I was talking about. I just pulled him up on my phone too, Jonathan Kuhlman. Yeah. I never heard of him. I think he came from the G League, right?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have a whole lot of that with everything that's going on, man. A whole lot of guys we ain't heard of is gonna come from the G League. So, but dealing with the Celtics, to me, they just can't finish. Tatum or Brown, one of them's gonna have to go, in my opinion. I don't see both of them staying together and being successful. I just don't, man. Just until something change, they're gonna continue to do what they do. They'll make it to the playoff, but they'll lose in the first two rounds every time.
Well, that's because they both ISO players.
Yeah.
And when you got think about it. Teams that have two high scores on a team, a lot of times they can play off the ball. When you have two ISO players, you can't have two Kobe Bryants on the same team. You know what I'm saying? You can have a Steph and a Clay because both of them is willing to run around without the ball. Clay put up a gajillion points without 8 dribbles. You know what I'm saying? And so when you have a team that's willing to sacrifice, is different from somebody that's draining the shot clock for a long time before it is that they decide whether or not they trapped and they want to get the ball off or whatever like that. The problem with the Celtics is that they undersized and they got two ISO players. I've never seen two ISO players be successful on any team whatsoever. You can only have one of those type of players. You can't have two.
Would you guys keep Marcus Smart
at all?
I would trade Marcus Smart or get some picks, because at this point, I mean, if he doesn't, I mean, he's just a defensive and a role player, I think, but I feel like his value isn't get any higher, though.
Yeah, that's huge, though.
But his value won't get any higher than it is. So if you want two major
pieces
value? Or Marcus Smart, I think it's capped. It's you know, he's pretty valuable at the moment, but it's not like he's about to go into a new echelon of all-star or
actually going down.
That's
what
I'm saying. So
he stays in Boston.
That's what I'm saying. So they need to do something with him now if they want to actually get some pieces and not lose a lot or have to get rid of like pieces they might not want. If they don't want to get rid of Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, then you're going to have to trade Marcus Smart.
Yeah,
I would think you let go of Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
I'm getting the world for Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown you're gonna get the world for him.
You're gonna have either one of Brown or Tatum. You're gonna have to let one of them go. Smart.
No, I'm not getting rid of Tatum. I'm not getting rid of Tatum. No way. That guy has a ceiling that is out of this world. He has footwork. I'm telling you, listen, I don't know if he's ever gonna live up to the potential.
I hope
but that dude has it, like skill wise and just straight up, and he's more marketable.
For sure. I like him.
Footwork.
I like him a whole lot better than Brown. I love him coming out of college. You know, coming out of Duke compared to Brown coming out of Cal. I didn't understand why they got both. I just didn't understand that move. But like you said, you're gonna have to let Brown go and see what you can get for him. I mean, I don't know if you're gonna be able to get a first round pick for him, but you're gonna have to maybe get a play. You can get a first round pick for Brown.
Well, see, that's what I was about to say. I don't think so. To Hink's point, in terms of why they got them both, I think that they were anticipating that Brown is like a great second option, nearly a third option, depending on if your big man is good or not. So Brown is really supposed to be your third option. He's supposed to be your most reliable scorer, third option. And Marcus Smart is supposed to be a defensive guy. That's kind of how they need it to be. And Brown isn't really living up to that. So I just, it's interesting that you say that they'll get a lot for him, when I think they'll probably get, a pick and maybe, a rotational guy, but he's not necessarily
Jaylen Brown.
I think you can get CJ McCollum for Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart.
Bro, you are getting the world for Jaylen Brown. There is no better player to trade for right now than Jaylen Brown. Not one. He is the most, as trade bait, he is the most coveted player in the league right now. He's young, he's a monster. He's still on that little contract or whatever. Like they're gonna get the bag, but they ain't getting the max. You know what I'm saying? Like
But is he making it seem like
he is a player you can build around? He don't have no deficiencies in his game at all.
But if he's supposed to be, only a very big part, but not necessarily the centerpiece, and then you're trading away your other assets,
centerpiece.
It feels like of equal value to where it's not going to be better. They're just
he is a centerpiece player.
You know what team I think he can benefit from? I'm not sure what they would give Boston, but Sacramento. I think a team like that. I mean, any team could benefit.
I like Sacramento.
I feel he would actually fit into immediately. Sacramento,
bro. I'm telling y'all. Listen, the only reason I'm saying that they should trade Jaylen Brown is because I don't think that he can exist with Jason Tatum. And Jason Tatum he's just that, bro. He's one of them type of dudes that can really be the face of the league at some point. You know what I'm saying? But as far as Jaylen Brown, man, I'm telling you, listen, if I'm a GM, I will give up 2 first-round picks for that dude. Straight up and down. That guy is a monster. And anybody that don't see that, he is one of them dudes you can create. You can build a cornerstone, a franchise around that dude. You surround him with the right pieces, and they are taking off.
You talking about Jaylen Brown?
Yes.
You think you could get 2 first-round picks for him?
Yes. Listen,
man.
Let me see how old this guy is. I just got to look it up.
He's probably about, 28, maybe?
Who are you talking about?
Jaylen Brown. In what sense? Top 10, 15? What? Good.
He's 25.
What I got to do anything?
25 years old, bro. Y'all crazy. And he played defense?
I'm not saying he's not valuable.
You muted, Hink. And he played defense, bro.
I thought he was older than that. I forgot he only played 1 year of college.
He played defense, bro. That's crazy.
I could see 1 first round and a role player, but I don't know about 2, man.
Oh my God.
Yeah, 2 seems like a lot. Because then you're asking him to be your star, nearly. I mean, if you do
he is a star.
I think you can get a CJ McCollum in a second round, but I don't know, maybe about a first round.
Right. Let me go. I gotta reset. I gotta go get some. It's Sunday, but I gotta go get some liquor. Give me a second.
Oh no.
I actually like that trade. CJ McCollum for Jaylen Brown and a pick. That's actually feels good because you still got Dame. You still got a bona fide star. You still got your size. You still got everything. Trade, let's say Dame for you know what I mean? Like that would be unequal. I don't think that would even go together. I feel like any team isn't going to trade their number 1 option for Jaylen.
Or number 2.
Right.
You're not going to trade the number 1 for number 2.
And the number 2. Like the Bulls wouldn't get rid of Zach or tight braids.
They might get rid of Marv.
I don't think so. I don't think they get rid of Marv.
I can't see them getting rid of him right now. I can't see it.
Actually, you're right. He kind of carries
now Vooch, they may get rid of Vooch, but that would that's your big, so you wouldn't do that either.
So Vooch starting the ball out now.
You wouldn't get rid of him. His potential is too high. You don't get rid of him.
So I don't know who I guess it depends on the team, so that's why Sacramento was a good suggestion, but it would just depend on the situation. I don't think every single team.
Y'all are about to drive me to drink. I cannot believe what I'm hearing.
Okay, Anton, what team should Jaylen Brown go to then? If not
y'all are telling me.
What team? You just saying picks. What team? Pick a team.
I don't care. I don't care what. Listen, unless you go to State. Hold on, listen. Unless you Golden State, unless you Phoenix, unless you Milwaukee or Brooklyn, unless you one of them, for Jaylen Brown. Everything is on the table, bro.
If you were
everything is on the table.
You trying to look at what team can give you a good value for your player, Jaylen Brown. If you're the GM of the Celtics and you looking around at the teams, what team I'm gonna look at this team because they got these players and these picks coming up, and I might want that for this player. What team would you pick besides those four?
It's not about what team you would pick because if you're the person with the trade bait, you waiting for the offers. Right, I tell you, it's a difference when you're trying to get rid of a player.
You're not actually getting these offers.
Hold on. If you got a player and you're trying to get rid of a bad contract, right? You had an Andre Drummond, you got something like that, right? If you're trying to get rid of a player, even if you go over to the 76ers and you're talking about a Ben Simmons, I need to get rid of somebody. That's different than you looking at a Jaylen Brown and you saying, what can you offer me? That's a whole nother conversation. I'm not looking at teams to see. If I'm a team, now I have to look at it from the other perspective, right? If I'm the I don't know. Let me pick a team. You want to pick a team in the East? You want to pick a team in the West?
You Detroit. If you're the Detroit Pistons, you giving them Sadiq Bey and a pick.
And Jeremy Grant and some first round and a first round draft pick.
Oh, you giving
him James Harden prices?
Yes.
Oh, you tripping.
I'm giving away Sadiq Bey, Jeremy Grant, first round draft pick, and listen.
Jaylen Brown?
And not only that.
Yeah.
Not only that, for Jaylen Brown, not only am I giving you all of that, and I might give you I might throw in a couple girls.
Toyota Camry.
I'm gonna send you a trip to Vegas. I'm gonna give you a bag of money. I'm gonna do all of that, bro. What is you talking about?
Give me the year. What year are you referencing?
Season tickets to the Tigers.
You think Jaylen Brown?
This is a 25-year-old two-way player that stayed. Are you kidding me, bro?
And like the fact that he's young and got talent, man, I think you can build around him.
So if you're the Miami
number one to you,
I don't know about that, Tom. But I look at it like this, man. I'll trade him for Darren Fox straight up. Darren Fox straight up to the Kings.
See, they
Celtics need a point guard, man. I would trade him straight up. I couldn't throw no first round pick in there plus him. There's no way. But I
surround that boy with some shooters and good coaching. That boy is gonna be a cornerstone of a franchise, bro. I'm telling you.
Now, quick question. He brought up trading on for De'Aaron Fox. I'm a Knicks fan. I'm about to ask you about this. Would y'all give up Obi Toppin for De'Aaron Fox?
Hell yeah.
No.
Hell no. Oh my God.
Hell
You have too many guards that want the ball like Quincy and Kemba. So why would you get another guard?
Kemba's expendable.
Yo, for Obi Toppin?
Kemba's expendable.
Have you seen Obi play?
Yeah, I've seen him. I've been seeing him play.
Like once and a half, because he be moving, he be dunking, and he can shoot.
Yo,
look here, man. He plays the same position as Randall. What the hell do I need him for? I got Randall. I got Julius Randall.
Get rid of
young
Randall,
energy.
Bro.
What?
He's the youngest players in the league right now. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Man, I don't know what y'all talking about right there. Toppin, he's still trying to develop. To me, he's not consistent. Randall's consistent. There's no way.
You know why Randall's consistent? Because he plays 35, 39 minutes a game. Obi Toppin plays 9 to 12 minutes a game. And everything you've seen of him has been in within 9 minutes.
Jay, but I seen him just sit on the bench, look like a damn clown for those other 30 minutes, man, and not doing anything, just joking and bullshitting. I'm good, man. Give me Randall, Toppin. I'll trade you off straight up for Fox. If I can get that deal, man, I would love that. Kemba Walker, you go back to the Celtics.
Y'all telling me that y'all wouldn't trade Obi Toppin for De'Aaron Fox?
Straight up, I would.
No, I would too. Are y'all telling me y'all wouldn't trade Obi Toppin for De'Aaron Fox?
That's what Sway and Jay saying.
I wouldn't.
Did you send him a drink?
I see y'all been smoking.
Did you send him a drink this morning?
Y'all been smoking a drink over this Christmas break? What is going on?
Because I feel like I've seen the best of Fox. I feel like I haven't. Toppin hasn't even started.
Man. But Jay, how can you when he's on the West Coast and they don't never show their games? No, they don't never televise the Spurs games.
I don't know what I'm hearing today.
No, you mean Sacramento. I mean, I keep
Sacramento.
an eye.
I'm sorry.
I mean,
Sacramento.
You know, a fan, you keep an eye on the overall league. You know what I mean? So he's good. I like him. I like him. I'm just not willing to part with what Obi can be.
Bro, De'Aaron Fox is already a certified monster. You telling me that you not trading based off, you gonna hold on to this guy based off of potential?
I don't even think they would trade De'Aaron Fox for Obi.
Well, we know that. We all know who the winner.
I would, but
Kings wouldn't accept that. But you say Kemba for De'Aaron, then I might be like, all right, I'd probably do that. He got more age. He's nice all around.
My thing is, I would want to keep them both. I would want to have Toppin and Fox. I'm not willing to part with.
I trade Kemba.
You can't have both. In this scenario, you got to pick one. Which one you taking?
As a player?
I get rid of Julius Randle, fam.
You wouldn't get rid of Julius Randle?
I would get rid of Julius Randle, man.
Let me pour another drink. I'm gonna be drunk by the end of this show. I see.
Hey, I promise you this. If you give LeBron some true serum right now, I bet he wish he didn't make that trade. I bet you LeBron wish he didn't make that trade.
Jesus.
Of course he know he wish he didn't make that trade for Westbrook. That was the dumbest thing. He just I'm not talking about Westbrook. I'm talking about Randall. Remember when he got there, he
was part of the trade deal to get Randall up out of there to get Anthony Davis a year earlier, but they wouldn't let it happen. So they had to wait a year later for it to happen.
Yeah. Randall was there when Kobe retired.
I bet he would make that trade right now.
Y'all got me stressed out over here.
Randall
Anton, don't be stressed out, baby. I'm gonna save you. I got your back, dog.
Y'all got me stressed out, bro. I can't believe what I'm hearing right now, bro.
The Kings need to try to get De'Aaron Fox and Obi Toppin on the same team. I mean, they got a lot of youth. They could part with some of these guys that they got.
That's what I said. Trade Kemba.
They got I don't know if Kemba.
Nobody's taking Kemba. Kemba got a. He's one leg. They're not trying to get rid.
Yeah, then
nobody wants Kemba.
They out on him.
Hey, I don't think you give Kemba away, let alone trade for somebody for him. I mean, not to me, but I don't know, man. De'Aaron Fox straight up for Toppin any day, any day.
I'm so stressed out.
I mean, if you just want to go off of player to player, but if you're talking about how it would impact the team, like positively, I wouldn't do that trade regardless on both ends. It wouldn't help my team. So, but
just no,
De'Aaron
Fox going to the Knicks does help the Knicks. It helps the Knicks. Yes.
But Sway, why do you say it wouldn't? I mean, please explain that to me.
Just don't see how you fit them in with everybody else. You have a bunch of guards who want the ball. You got a bunch of bigs now who want the ball.
Then we retool the roster. But if I can get De'Aaron Fox for Obi Toppin, I'm doing it.
I'm just saying you're trying to get rid of a player who doesn't necessarily touch the ball a lot. He plays more off ball. And you want to get another guy who needs the ball when you already got a bunch of people who need the ball. You need to get rid of somebody who
plays off ball. Fox is a point guard.
Have y'all watched? Have y'all watched
play off the ball.
Sacramento Kings play, bro? Have y'all watched
They have too many people who want the ball. You're trading a person who plays off ball in Obi, and he fits because you already have a bunch of people who want the ball. Instead, now you're trying to bring in another key piece who wants the ball, and you're trying to figure out how to distribute amongst all these players who want to dribble and make their own plays and whatever it is. It's like I wouldn't do that. I would trade for another player like Quincy. What's that? The young cat Quincy, is that his name? I would trade him or something. Another player who.
What you trying to? You trying to be in the middle of the playoffs for the rest of your life?
Me?
He's saying that you got 7 ball dominant people. Why are you gonna?
Then you get rid of the.
You get an 8th.
Listen, you make moves and you build around De'Aaron Fox and Julius Randle.
I'd rather build around.
But that's what I'm
Fox
saying. You would have to get rid of like 3 other ball dominant instead of you're getting rid of. You're talking about Obi, who isn't a ball dominant.
We don't need
why would you get rid of Obi because he's not ball dominant at the moment.
Derrick Rose. We don't need none of these geriatric players, bro.
You need Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose. You need the MVP Derrick Rose.
You don't need Derrick Rose.
You don't need Derrick Rose, bro. Nobody needs Derrick Rose. Yes,
you can get rid of him.
He's a serviceable backup point guard, but nobody needs Derrick Rose, bro.
You have Emmanuel quickly with that.
You need him.
Look here.
I don't know about now.
Have you watched De'Aaron Fox? De'Aaron Fox has to be
hold on,
the team he's on, man.
Sway, where you from, Sway?
I'm from Brooklyn and Charlottesville, Virginia.
I knew it. Nobody makes these type of unreasonable assessments when it comes to
hold on. What's my unreasonable assessment? Tell me.
Bro, you are literally telling me.
Just bring up one point that you disagree with. The Derrick Rose thing was a joke.
I done brought up a bunch of them throughout the whole show. First of all, y'all told me that y'all rocking with Obi Toppin over De'Aaron Fox. Secondly, you just told me that Derrick Rose is a necessity. Come on, bro.
Oh, I made a joke. I'm talking about the MVP Derrick Rose. If you want if y'all want to win, y'all
need MVP Derrick Rose is never coming back. This is
2021. That point was a joke, is what I'm saying. I'm more sticking on the Obi Toppin, De'Aaron Fox. If you're talking about player for player, who is better? Of course, De'Aaron Fox is better. But what I'm saying is, when you're trying to improve your team, I'm not going to get rid of one of my good non-ball dominant young pieces for another ball dominant player when I already got 7 of them. I'm not going to get an 8th. If anything, I'm trying to get rid of one of these 7 and then try to get De'Aaron. I'm not going to get one of the pieces that.
Bro, you acting like De'Aaron Fox is 35.
I'm not acting like that. No. I'm not acting like that at all.
I got you. So you're saying
hold on. You saying I'm not getting rid of my young De'Aaron Fox is 24 years old, bro.
Yeah, he's younger than
24 years old. He's a franchise player.
The other 2, yeah.
What are we talking about?
I'm not getting rid of Obi. I would get rid of somebody else.
He's not ball dominant, though. You keep saying he's ball dominant.
Like this man is the second coming of Jesus. Who is Obi Toppin has showed you nothing. What are y'all talking about? What's wrong with these New York cats? I see Jay, you got that NY hat on. Sway is from Brooklyn. What is wrong with y'all?
Hey, he had that one good year in college, man, and he got the bag for it. Congratulations. But to me, no, I don't think he's worth it. And you keep saying Fox is ball dominant. He's not ball. He has to be ball dominant because he's at the Kings.
No,
bro. But he's not ball
even
dominant.
on the squad that he's on, he's not ball dominant. That's why I asked, have y'all even watched the Sacramento games, bro? Bro, y'all, he is not a ball dominant player at all. I don't know what y'all talking about.
When he is, he drops buckets. When he's not, they don't win. And when they pull him to the Knicks and they trade and keep pieces, they don't want him to be ball dominant.
He had Walton as his coach, though, brother.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all act like
Walton
if he goes to the Knicks, they're not going to put the ball in his hand.
Man,
they're not going to act like, yo, go take over your fast, do what you got to do. You, Julius Randle, do the pick and roll. They're going to put the ball in his hand.
How about
that's a hell of a mix if you had him.
I'm not saying that that's not a bad mix, but I'm not trading Obi. I would trade Rose and the new Quincy, the young cat.
Won't you trade RJ Barrett
or something?
Won't you trade RJ Barrett?
He actually balling. I ain't gonna cap to you.
I could go.
I'm gonna just sit back and
go with that. I'm gonna sit back and watch this. I can go with that.
I'm gonna sit back and watch this dumpster fire right now happening.
Hey, don't worry about it. I got a fire extinguisher, Anton. Don't worry about it. We're gonna let it go down.
So Anton, so you're not even a believer in Obi Toppin. You don't think he has any value,
bro? I think he has value, but we talking about De'Aaron Fox.
But you wouldn't keep
De'Aaron Fox to Obi Toppin.
So you'll gladly get rid of Obi Toppin versus anyone else.
Get rid of other players.
Listen, if De'Aaron Fox was to ever, De'Aaron Fox compared to all the rest of these, De'Aaron Fox would be the best person on the Knicks. What are you talking about?
He would be number 1 or 2. That's why I said he would be.
No, he would be number one. Number one, definitively. He's better than every player on that roster. And y'all sitting here debating about whether or not you would even trade Obi Toppin for De'Aaron Fox, a 24-year-old proven monster that hasn't even remotely shown you exactly what it is that he can do. He's not even close to his peak. Y'all, are we nuts right now?
So you think?
And y'all bringing out Derrick Rose?
So you think he has a bigger ceiling?
Yes.
Okay.
Who? Fox? Yeah.
De'Aaron Fox has a huge ceiling.
I love him. I mean, y'all gotta watch him again. I don't know if y'all caught him on a bad night or something, but that dude is tough, man. He's tough. Hey, I agree with this one thing. RJ Barrett, I'll let him go before I would go Toppin. Now, if you want to do that, I can agree with that. But
that sounds more sensible.
Toppin for Fox. Toppin for Fox? No, I can't do that.
Hold on. Hold on real quick.
Toppin been gone at last night. Toppin been gone at draft night. If you left it up to me for that trade.
Hey, what's going on, World 84? You want to chime in on this real quick?
Most definitely. Thanks for having me on the panel. Much appreciated. Shout out to everybody on the panel. Much love. Yeah, Jay know me. You know what I mean? Much love to Jay. Much love to everybody. Listen, there's nowhere in the world that you would not trade Obi Toppin for De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox is lights out. He's different. He's special. You know what I mean? The Kings will let go of everybody instead of De'Aaron Fox. He's going nowhere. You know what I mean? They let Bogdanovich go. They're even probably going to let Buddy Hill go, you know, pretty much after, you know, by the time they the trade deadline. So
I thought I was going crazy, Mr. Best in the World.
No, you're not going crazy. And I'm a New Yorker, too. I'm from Brooklyn. You know
okay. I thought I was starting to get concerned about that city.
I'm certified. You're not going crazy. It's just basketball sense. It's not even hard to figure out. He's not even 25 yet.
No,
you know what I mean? You can't compare a guy that's already proven that he can lead a team, that he can be a sufficient point guard, that he's not injury prone.
At a young guy
a young guy. And the Knicks need a reliable point guard. Kimba's washed and D Rose is washed. It's just as simple as that. Those guys are washed. You need somebody that's reliable and young. You know what I mean? And they really haven't recovered, honestly, from when they let Jeremy Lin go, and that's almost damn near 2 years ago. They never got a point guard to replace him.
Wait. So let me ask you this question then. Who on the Knicks, if you're saying, okay, anybody could get it, so then who on the Knicks is good? Who are you keeping? You know, are the Knicks going to be good once they get De'Aaron Fox, or they just got now they
got?
Wait,
let's look. Were we making the assumption that that they would ever be able to that Sacramento would ever let De'Aaron Fox go? He's not going anywhere. Right. But I'm just was like, Obi Toppin, who for De'Aaron Fox? That's blasphemy.
I'm thinking of chemistry. I mean, yeah, if you're speaking in terms of who's better, naturally Fox is better. But I'm talking about when we get Fox, then what? My thing is, I would rather Obi be on the team with Fox than otherwise.
Look at last year's playoffs, right? What was the problem? The problem was
scoring.
They had nobody that can go with Trae Young. Trae Young ran through them because he knew he could. He knew D Rose had nothing for him. He knew D Rose had nothing for him, and he ran through the Knicks, and he got him out of there. He took a bow and got him out of there. So De'Aaron Fox at least still have a chance, but they're not gonna have a chance with D Rose and Kimber. Not against Trae Young or any young point guard. They're gonna get ran through.
I didn't disagree with the fact that if the Knicks got the offer, I want to trade De'Aaron Fox or Obi Toppin, they would be dumb not to take it. But Sacramento will also be dumb to offer that to them, is what I'm saying. Like player for player, De'Aaron Fox is way, way better. But once you get him on there, now what are you going to do with all these other players? You're gonna have to get rid of those other players and try to get some other pieces. You have to keep making more moves. And that's not what we're talking about, though. Like, after we get him, we're just talking about getting him there and put him on the team with what we got. Is that going to transition into a championship team just because you traded Obi for De'Aaron with the same team that the Knicks got? Or are you going to have to make a whole bunch of other moves?
Are you ever going to even be remotely in a championship conversation with the current team that you have with Obi Toppin on it?
Hell no.
Okay, so the argument is moot then, because you're not going nowhere with him in the current state of the team. The whole game of the NBA is to continuously make moves, and you have to continuously revise what it is that you're doing in the first place.
If they get the offer, the Knicks should take it. But what I'm saying is, I'm trying to get you to understand that you would have to make even more moves other than just Obi Toppin and De'Aaron Fox.
Okay,
I would take it, but you can't just say I'm gonna take De'Aaron Fox on it and then this team is automatically going to be nice.
Nobody said that.
Look, throw J.R. Barrett in there. Throw Toppin and Kemba Walker. Give all three of y'all. Give me that second round pick.
If I'm a team, I'm gonna say no. Listen, you leave Kemba Walker off that sheet, or I'm gonna feel like you're disrespecting me. Don't you ever offer me Kemba Walker? I don't want no one-legged dog.
Well, but I'm doing it for salary cap reasons.
Oh, okay.
I Mr. Best in the World. I'm gonna drop you back down. Just wanted to see what you wanted to chime in on. Appreciate it.
Definitely.
All right. Man, it's getting
I got heated real quick.
We can see who the true basketball fans are. Hey, go ahead, Marcus, real quick. Want to chime in on this?
Hi, how you guys doing? Happy Merry Late Christmas.
All right.
Merry Christmas.
All right, man. So I think the biggest conversation obviously was making sure some of these teams need like a role player, maybe a point guard. I know that maybe New York doesn't have the strongest base of a point guard right now in the Knicks. There were conversations of Lillard going to the Knicks in the offseason, but then you got Lillard, who had a big contract. I believe it was like 2 years ago. Correct me if I'm wrong. He got a huge fat contract deal. And you had other players who were coming up from international who are blowing up. So I'm wondering if, for you guys, would you rather get a big player right now that's a strong power forward or a center who can shoot threes, or would you get a point guard for these teams that are struggling right now? I just wanted a quick question around the panel, because the bigs are coming in too.
Size is always my priority. Always.
Are you talking about for the Knicks or for who?
Well, the Knicks, and then teams like, for example, there's another team that's struggling right now with not having a point guard. I know the Clippers don't really have a point guard, and the Lakers have been struggling. The Celtics as well.
I'm always going with size.
See, I would pick a point guard, like somebody like a Trae Young or like a De'Aaron Fox, like somebody who could run ISO, like an unstoppable ISO player. I would choose that, because that opens your offense up for so much more.
So you think the Celtics would need someone like Lillard on the team for the Celtics?
No, and see that's the thing. I don't think that Lillard is going to transform any team into a championship contender. And I'm guessing that you referring to teams that like may or middling teams that may or may not make the playoffs and stuff like that. I don't think that Damian Lillard is the key. Like unless you're talking about a superstar, you know what I'm saying, that can be the face of a franchise or something like that. If we just talking about trying to make them a championship team, I'm always going with size. Always.
You don't believe Lillard is a star? You don't think Lillard's a star though?
I think he is a star, but I don't think
like, is he gonna make everybody else better?
I don't think he's gonna make you a championship team. That's all I'm saying.
Right. But there's a couple of years when they were in the playoffs that their bigs were missing because of injury, and that's what I think held them
and even
back.
if their bigs was there, who said that? Did anybody still predict them to be a championship team, that to make the finals in any year?
But I mean, there was like 2 years. There was 2 years. It was like they made it to the conference.
Nobody
finals.
ever predicted that the Blazers was going to make the championship. Not one time. Nobody.
Warriors and Rockets.
Nobody.
For the past like 5-10 years.
Nobody.
Maybe the Thunder. Or
I don't think that. Listen.
Okay.
I don't think that Brooklyn is going to make the finals. And they got KD. So I'm definitely not tripping off no Damian Lillard.
And you asked about a couple teams. You said the Celtics. I think you want to touch. I think they need a big more than a guard. They don't have size. They got, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. If anything, they just need somebody who can lock down that paint and, maybe create some more havoc around, defensively. But if you're talking about the Lakers, then they need a point guard. If you're talking about, you named a couple other teams.
The Lakers got size.
Yeah, the Lakers need a point guard. They need young legs. They don't need these old point guards that can barely play defense and, they're kind of good on offense or whatever. They got the knowledge, but they're just too slow. So they could be the young point guard like De'Aaron. But
historically,
take
out the Golden State Warriors. Historically, what team is not, when the playoffs come and everything slow down and they're able to plan for you, what team outside of the Golden State Warriors did not win based off of size? You can't think of one.
I can't think of one. Maybe I was going to say that Detroit, but Detroit wasn't that big.
Rasheed Wallace. Come on, man. We had all.
No, but I'm talking about the 80s. I'm talking about 80s Pistons.
The Cavaliers, the LeBron's Cavaliers.
That 04 Pistons was undersized, though, Anton.
Wait, who?
Yeah, because
you don't think that 04 Pistons was undersized because Ben Wallace was like 6'8".
We had Rasheed Wallace. Listen, all of our wings was big. Rasheed Wallace. We had Tayshaun Prince, and then you had Ben Wallace down there in the middle. Right, we was a defensive-minded team. We was a brawling team.
But you know something, your bigs wasn't big. Your Wallace was 6'8". No, he's probably about 6'9". Wasn't he?
No. She was like
6'9", 6'10".
Ben Wallace is like 6'9".
Rasheed Wallace is 6'11", bro.
Oh, okay.
But Tayshaun Prince with his rank, he got the KD wingspan.
Yeah, he
I had
about
one
6'7".
Yeah,
what do you mean by size though? Like, are you talking about like 7-footers or like weight?
No, I'm just talking size in the middle. One of the reasons why I think that the Boston Celtics is what they are is A, they have two ISO players, and B, they don't have no size.
So you mean height though? Are you talking about like height, like 6'11"?
In this Cantor? When I say size, I'm saying that you need a decent big.
Okay, like Chris Bosh and
yes, you need a decent big. I don't just want you to put some stationary cones out there, people that can run around. You need a decent big to participate.
I had one last side question for you guys before I get out of this panel. Who is more likely to lead their team to a championship, Trae Young or Ja Morant? First,
I don't know. They just.
Well, Atlanta, I think Atlanta's a better team because they got a lot more guys, you know what I mean? And they're well balanced. They got some good shooters. They got athleticism. They got size. So, it's just about them getting hot at the right time versus Memphis. They got to do a whole lot of hard basketball playing in order for them to get over that same kind of hump. So if I had to say which team gets there first, I would probably say the Atlanta Hawks. I don't necessarily think that Trae is a leader. I think that he, he's a bucket and just his style of play. He's a lot like Steph. I think that Steph leads through his play versus Draymond, who leads through his words and presence on the team. And I think that the Hawks are just going to win because of their talent and good coaching. I don't think it's one guy's going to will their team to some kind of victory versus the Grizzlies, where Ja may have to dig deep and pull out these miraculous performances to get Memphis over that same hump. So I think that it'd be Atlanta before Memphis.
Yeah, but if you just going player for player and you saying who do I want for the long haul, I'm gonna take Ja Morant over Trae Young, just because I think that he got a longer shelf life.
That's why he's disagreeing with you.
I think that Trae Young, I don't think that he has as long of a shelf life as a lot of other people think. I think that he's an undersized guard, and he gonna get beat up. I think that the longer he plays, I think that he's going to be more injury prone too. So
I was thinking the exact opposite. I thought Trey was going to do more
Marcus,
of the Steph route, and then Ja, since he's more, I feel like he's more AI like. He likes to drive and get hit and do all types of shit.
I agree.
And
I have a problem
with that. He's going to get more injured in the long run. I mean, he may be able to fight through it, but overall, he's going to accumulate more injuries. I think Trey might get an ankle or, I don't know, nothing crazy, but he'll probably get a couple Steph-like injuries. But I don't think he's going to. I think he'll have a longer shelf life.
Ja is you might be right about that, because Ja kind of play, in my opinion, more like the old D Rose.
Yeah,
reckless abandon. Yeah,
you might be right about that. I'm willing to.
They both slight of frame. They not like they real big thick dudes. So
that's why I thought of AI. I was like, AI had a whole bunch of injuries, regardless.
Yeah. I give you that. I give you that.
John style.
For Young,
the league today isn't as physical as it used to be either, though. So you also got to take that into consideration.
It might give him 2 more years then.
I just like Ja's game. I just think that dude is.
I like it too. I just don't want him to get hurt. That's my.
I agree.
Just tuning in. Welcome to Lapeef Sports. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Also subscribe to the channel. Shout out to all the super chats that's been coming through. We definitely appreciate that. Make sure you hit that join button and become a member and go green. And now it's time to start getting into the meat of the conversation. We're going to talk about open marriage. I kind of want to build up to this, even though we are going to be talking about the Ayesha and Steph Curry situation. I do want to look at it and try to see how much of this information and perspectives that we can apply to our own lives. So let's start off by opening up with this. How do you know when they are the one? Like, what clicks in your head when you say that she's the one or he's the one? Well, in this case, it's men, if she's the one.
I know. Y'all don't want me to go first.
I've never found the one, so I wouldn't even be able to speak to it.
You know what? If she shares your same values, if she shares your same ambitions, or at least appreciates your ambitions, if if she's gonna show you the love and affection that you demand in order for you to be happy, if she's at least willing to be open to that, she has the same ideas about y'all's lifestyle in the long run, where you want to be when you're 30, when you're 50, when you're 70. All those things play a part. So, is she willing to be openly communicative with you, or is she going to try to make demands of you? So, you take all these things into consideration before you declare if someone is the one for you or not. I imagine that it's going to take a lot of conversations, a lot of being exposed to them in different situations of adversity, seeing how they act around other people who they may find attractive, they may not like. How do they treat the janitor? How do they treat the, NBA player that they may come across, or a soccer player that they may come across, some baddie little volleyball player? All those things matter. So when you're deciding on who's the one, I think you have to take all those things into consideration.
All right. Anybody else want to chime in?
I know for me, man, if they're able to have the tough conversations, just that tough conversation, and able to respect your views, and you're able to respect theirs. They're, even though we may not agree on certain views, but they're willing to listen to yours and not trying to downplay them like you don't know what you're talking about. That's what made me feel. They gave me that feeling. Okay. she's the one.
You know what? Honestly, I don't even think it's a one. I just think that you just got to marry your best friend. You just need to marry your best friend. You're not marrying a representative. You're not aligning with somebody based off of superficial things. It's not based off of sex. It's not based off of any of that. How you feel and all of that is being able to see people operate, as their authentic self and them rocking with you despite any kind of circumstances and situation. And then you determining who it is that you want to be as a man is going to dictate your success when it comes to marriage. It's simple for me.
Quick question. Do you think a lot of people are acquiring best friends at 40 years old or 35 years old?
I think that most people refuse to date their best friend.
Plus, I think that a lot of people may think that they're already experts on the world, and there's a certain amount of vulnerability that you have to put yourself in order to allow someone to become your best friend. Your best friend knows you at your highs and lows. They've seen you at, your worst point, or at least you may have gone to them for counsel at your lowest point. And so in order for that to happen, you have to be at a low point. You have to be at a vulnerable position. And I think the older you get, the more guarded you become in those situations, especially at the low points. You definitely don't want to broadcast that. So it's hard to let a person in when, surface level, you're constantly trying to make it seem like everything's okay. You're trying to push out this positive image to everyone when in fact you might not necessarily be okay. So it's hard for people these days to put that trust out there. And again, kind of like how Hink and Anton said, when you're having those tough conversations with people who you call yourself loving or caring about, I think that those are the people that you may want to try to spend the rest of your life with. But some people have, they guard their egos, they guard their feelings, they guard the truth, in terms of what they want out of life as that grows. You know what I mean? I'm sure maybe what you wanted at 21 isn't what you now want at 31. So, and again, that's a hard conversation that you got to have. But if y'all are friends and close, then having that conversation shouldn't be, as big a deal as the issue at hand.
I want to ask this question because I know Anton often say you need to marry your best friend. When we first get into these relationships before marriage, are we leading with that they're the best friend, or is that something that we discover later on that, this is actually my best friend?
I think the more open you become with each other, the more that friendship, the more you can disclose about, the secrets or things you might not tell everybody. That bond and friendship kind of grows, but I don't think people are just outright friends. You know what I mean? You guys are vetting each other, like, Kyle said, you have to kind of figure out if you guys vibe and match, your views match and everything. And I think like a lot of the times, like the problem is we don't like to grow into something better for each other. We just want to say, oh, accept me how I am. They don't want to necessarily self-improve in a sense that I'm self-improving as a partner for my, my man or my wife, to make it easier amongst each other, like the connection that we have, to feel that it's like a friendship. Like I don't always have to be this, person that I am today. I can self-improve and to help be something that my wife, enjoys to be around all the time. You know what I mean? And same for her. She can be the same thing. Like if say a lot of women nowadays, I'm not gonna cap you, they don't know how to cook. And around my age, I'm not gonna knock them for not knowing how to cook because that wasn't a requirement. So something like that, if you gotta grow and build with each other, it's like, all right, I can cook now, but I want to see some effort, you trying to learn how to cook and you taking that initiative to cook and do things like that. Because at the end of the day, that's going that's going to be something I want out of the mother of my children. If I'm going to be working all the time, I want to, have you be the option to cook. I don't want to have to cook all the time. If I want to cook, then I want to cook, but I expect you to cook, especially if we have kids and stuff. And I think that's one of the things my girl I have right now, I let her know, I'm like, it's cool if you don't cook now, but later on down the life, you're going to have to start picking up on some of these tendencies, and we're not going to be going out to eat all the time. So who's going to cook? If I'm working 60, 80 hours a week, somebody got to cook. So stuff like that.
All right, shout out to the $10 super chat. Anton made a good point. The thing is, people are afraid to start a relationship with their best friend because you might lose your best friend and gain an enemy that know everything about you.
Well, you got the thing about that, and I agree with what Anton's saying. You have to let your pride go. You have to let that go when you're dealing with in a relationship like that. Like you said, that's your best. You got to let it go. And is there a chance that can happen? Yeah. But you have to let your pride go and let it be, and trust and believe that this person that you chose and that you vetted is going to do right by you. That's the only thing you can hope and pray for. Anybody could turn their back on you. Your own mother could do that. But man, if you're in a relationship with your best friend, like Anton's saying, and this person knows you like that, man, there's nothing that person would do for you because they know where you've been, where you came from, what you've been through, and they're willing on doing that for sacrifice and doing those certain things for you because they love you and they care about you. They want to see you be successful in whatever you do.
All right. Open marriage. When partners agree that each may engage in extramarital sexual relationships and not be regarded by them as infidelity, why would a couple consider an open marriage? Why would a couple consider an open marriage?
They have an image to maintain as a married couple. They have business, whether that's legit owned business or a home that they own together or whatever it is, where their accounts and financial situations are directly linked. They'll also call themselves stand together for the children, in front of the kids. They are, a happily married couple, but when the kids are asleep or when they're at grandma and grandpa's house, that's when they get in a swing on. But as far as, when the children are around, they are maintaining this image. So, and there's a certain amount of attention seeking that's going on there as well. For whatever reason, they need to be able to be out there and, soil their oats out there, I guess. And I just think that the desire to do that is becoming so strong with this fear of missing out when it comes to the Instagram lifestyle and luxurious lifestyle, especially the more money you make. I just think that people stay together because of the public image of it all, whether it's money driven, family driven. You don't want people to see you as something other than, a role model and this positive influence on.
Hey, Cal, I'm not talking about, because you have to consider that not everybody is in the public eye. So for the people that's not in the public eye, why would they consider open marriage?
Well, I think they horny too. We can't take that out. People do want to get out there. You know what I'm saying? I think the social media and just the curiosity that's kind of out there, it's kind of taking some people over. So, at the simplest form, people want to get out there and, get it in too.
I think if you allow your girl on her end to be open, that is some cuckold type of thing. I could never imagine my main chick. No, if it was like some side piece and I really didn't care and I didn't invest, no, but your main. But open marriage on the guy end, I think it is just to keep the guy happy for the long haul. Like, most men like variety, and most men, if they could have the balls to say something about it, they would say, "Hey, babe, I love you and all, but I do want some other poon here and here, and I'm gonna come back to you. That's not what I'm gonna. I'm not gonna leave you, poon. I'm gonna leave you. Maybe you start acting rude, mean, fat, and you not bringing any value to my life. That's what I would leave you for. But I'm not gonna leave you for a good thing. And I think when guys have money and value and resources or the balls to say, hey, I want other than you, like, openly, like sexually, then, honestly, there are a lot of women who will accept it if they truly admire, love, and respect you and they don't want to lose you. They'll do that. They'll do that specifically for the man. They know, not even if they want to do it, they'll do it for him. But it doesn't always work. It doesn't always work. But I think the open marriage in general, like he said, Kyle, it would be on both ends. It would be more so either the horniness or, like he said, the business move where they kind of want to work their own lives, but they got money and whatever. But I couldn't imagine my main chick letting her do what she wants.
Hell no. I can't believe this, man.
What?
Hell no. Dog, could you imagine some dude knocking down your girl and you sitting there watching him? What the shit is this, man? Ain't enough horny in the world, dog. I'm gonna watch my girl get digged down by another dude.
What? No, you're not watching it. You're not watching it.
You're not watching it. You're allowing it.
Look, let me tell you this. If you know what's going on, it's in your head. You visualizing it. Absolutely. You visualizing this dude. No telling what. This dude might be hung like a horse. You looking at yourself like, damn, what I'm gonna do with that? Yeah, look here. Woman come to me with some bullshit like that, I got no more respect for her. I wanna have an open relationship. You take us home. We done. Do what you want to do.
Let me ask you a question. What if she said, Can I go? Can we do this or try this? Or I'm taking everything you got. I'm taking you for everything. So we can stay married and you allow me to do this, or I'm taking that pillow behind you. I'm taking that couch you sitting on. I'm taking that house.
Ain't that what happened to Scott?
How would you react?
Let me tell you this. Then I'm starting over, Jay. Then I'm starting over. Because there's no damn way I'm going to respect a woman. Don't come to me with some bullshit like that. Don't come to me with that.
Shout out to Hank. Shout out to Hank.
Hey, let me tell you this, dude. I asked that question just to see what they're going to say. And if I hear the wrong answer, that further lets me know, no respect for you. I'm a dog walk you. I'm going to treat you like I do for the rest of these chicks for the streets. The hell with that. There's no way I would bring a man, another woman in our relationship for what?
She can keep everything.
Hold on. Hank, I want to ask you this.
What's up, big brother?
Would you be okay if it's with another woman?
No. That is. Either way, it's going to come out bad. Either way, it's going to come out bad. You don't know what the mindset of these other women. They go crazy. They fall in love with it. All of a sudden, now they ran more than you are. All of a sudden, you on the outside looking in. Oh, hell no. We good. We good. We could dress up. We could role play. We could do all that other stuff. But you're not bring no heartache on this situation, and we're not going to bring another tenderfoot in here.
Hello,
we good.
Motherfucker.
You damn right.
That was a good question, yeah. Because, like once upon a time at a certain age, you would have probably maybe considered that. But, after a certain age, man, you might not need to be bringing nobody in, though. We're getting too old for that. But, I think with the open marriage, I think the reason behind it is that one person is a deviant. The other person is trying to overcompensate for what they can't keep up with the person they chose. So they start opening their minds up, or essentially trying to accommodate what they're lacking. Instead of saying, I'm going to move on, I'm done, I can't keep up with you because you're a deviant, they'll just be like, all right, well, sure, let's try it. Then next thing you know, you hopping out of bushes, shooting at people, or whipping U-turns in 6 p.m. traffic. Yeah.
Not shooting at people.
Now, JR, are you talking about from the marriage aspect? Now, if I was single, a woman say she want to do that, okay, it's cool. You can do all you want, man. You can do it all you want, but not my wife. You're not getting involved in you're not putting no hard in between us. A tenderfoot between us. We married? Nah, we good. We good.
I don't even care if she's my wife. I tell girls that I kind of just mess around. I say, hey, if you going around to another dude, let me know, man. Give me like a 2-week, between you smashing another dude, because I'm not trying to be the next day or the next hour. No, give me 2 weeks. You quarantine from that previous and then hit me up. I'm not trying to be quarantine 2 weeks and then you can hit me up. I'm not trying to be involved. So it don't even matter if she's not my main. Like I don't.
She needs some cleanup time.
Bro. It's weird. I can't share. I can't.
What are you quarantining from?
I feel like the other niggas stuff. I don't know. Like, you don't know what he did, man. He could have done all type. It's.
That chick could be a porno star, but you better leave that hoe alone, baby. We already let her hoe be a hoe. We already talked about this. We talked about this.
She sucking something 2 days ago. She still got all that in her mouth. She probably don't brush her teeth.
He said she need an oil change before she come mess with you.
Something. I need for sure that you've been detoxed of the previous niggas stuff. In every
I can't relate to none of this, so I'm gonna go ahead and just watch.
I'm 22, so I've just started committing to one chick, but before, yeah, I mean.
Well, I got married at 22, so it's different for me. So,
all right. Speaking about marrying at a young age, does marrying young play a role for people to consider open marriage?
No, hell no, nope, not even a little bit. See, the problem with people is that they expose to too much stuff as it is. Right? The fact that people it's kind of like you've been infiltrated. Your mind, your body, everything has just been infiltrated with so many different types of experiences. Whereas, like, to be honest with you, operating out of ignorance is bliss. Like, why would I want to expose myself to all of the different things that's available to me when I don't need none of that in order to continue to thrive and be successful? Like it's even as it relates to life. Like, I don't think that everybody should be raised in a hood. Why would you want to be exposed to hood experiences? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that you can successfully thrive without ever growing up in the hood. We say the hood is trauma. It's the same thing when it comes to relationships. That stuff that you went through and these people that you're dealing with, they brought trauma to your life. You shouldn't even be experiencing that at all. And I think that when people marry earlier, they dodge a lot of the trauma that comes along with people that expose themselves to so many different types of women and experiences and all of this other type of stuff. And it literally creates a worse dynamic for you than if you were to get married in a later sense. And so I believe that as long as you stay in a space where you're not participating with people or hanging out with people that don't have any kind of value to your life. I don't think, for example, married women should be overly hanging out with the majority of single women, for example. They shouldn't even be a part of them type of conversations. Your best friend is supposed to be your husband or your wife and all of this other type of stuff. When you don't expose yourself or make yourself available to temptation, you don't have to worry about overcoming it. So for me, I think that getting married earlier and staying successfully on the path and being married as long as you go about doing things the right way is the recipe for success versus exposing yourself to what the possibilities are. And then you find yourself in a situation where you got to try to remedy it or react to it or overcome from it. I don't even put myself in that position at all.
Okay. Anybody else want to chime in on that?
Plus, if you get married early, I know that my wife and I, we've been together since we were 19. So this was 2006 when we first been together, no on and off, break on off, get back together, none of that. So for us, or at least for me, I kind of agree with Anton. I was able to kind of avoid a lot of these, horror stories and jaded stories to where, you kind of develop this attitude just around relationships in general. And then as it relates to our relationship, if I or my wife all of a sudden wanted to start doing some open marriage situation, I think that would be a big red flag in regards to our marriage just in general. Instead of me thinking, oh, well, everything will be better if I just go out here and do X, Y, and Z, I would really be thinking, there's something lacking that's going on here that I probably need to address versus thinking outer influences will make something better within my life. So I think that being young and being with one person for a long time, again, like Anton said, we just been exposed to too much to where now we want to go out there and experience some of these things that we think is, just fun and games, when to Hink's point, it's always usually going to end bad for you. So I think that the thing you need to do is just always remember about what your own situation is and value your own situation versus trying to have your eyes out there looking for something better, looking for greener grass when that's not even grass right there. You know what I mean? So I think that marrying young,
that's turf over concrete. That's going to hurt your knees.
Right. So, I don't think that it's a better situation at all to be older. I think it's harder to, come out of that thinking where open marriages and things like that might be okay, because the longer you're single and the more, the higher your body count goes up, you might be open to that kind of thing because you've already in your mind set yourself up to think, well, this is okay. And, when you're in a marriage for a really long time, you might not have that same value, where if your wife all of a sudden wants to have that, that should be a red flag for you to address something in your relationship and not just go with the flow.
But hold on, let me add this one more caveat, because this is a part that people don't include, because people want to be willy-nilly and they want to do all of this other type of stuff and soya royal oats and all of this stuff. The majority of people walking around out here is walking around with a venereal disease, man. Like, it's a lot of dodging and ducking that you got to do in order to be able to get your nut off for an extended period of time. So if you sitting here telling me that it even make more sense as far as protecting yourself and your health, let alone your mental well-being and your body, you can't convince me that people doing it that other way, it make more sense. I have a better chance and a greater possibility of moving a certain type of way and not having to worry about certain things that other people have to worry about. I ain't never got to worry about catching a venereal disease in my life. I'm chilling. I'm cool. I ain't got to worry about putting on no rubber. I ain't got to do none of that. Like, if we just going to be real and just have the conversation in its entirety, yeah, you can do what you want to do, but it's a lot of people carrying around that dog. It's a lot of people walking around with that dog, and I'm not one of them. I ain't never got to worry about that, ever.
I want to bring in God Will Spare real quick. I am bringing people in and out to kind of chime in through the conversation. The link is posted at the top, so if you guys want to join the panel, for a second, feel free to click that link. What's going on, God? Real Spirit? What you got?
And much. I appreciate y'all. I enjoy this every day. I mean, every Sunday. As far as open relationships, I was just going to touch on that. So I got family, friends that's in both. So I have a friend. She's on her second marriage. Married to a guy. She's not this, and so when she didn't realize, after she got married the second time, that she preferred women more so than dudes. So, but because her husband's her best friend, she just chooses to stay married. They choose to stay married, but they have open relationship. So she also has a girlfriend. And then I have a family member that's she's married to a guy, but she's not getting everything she needs from her husband. And so essentially, in both relationships, on both, both my friends and my family member, their guys aren't satisfying them, however they may be. So it's like what someone said earlier, they're lacking. So for me, that's the whole reason why people do open marriages. So
yeah, I mean, you'll have people that who knows who broke whatever woman in, what they were exposed to, what gratifies them. And if you're coming in, you're the average dude who you got to be everything now, dog. You got to be, 12 inches. You got to be a vibrator. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's too much. Like, dog, if you're doing all of that, like, what are you doing? Are you working? How many hours a week you working? You know what I'm saying? If you got to come home and be a vibrator, and nobody has time for all of that. So I feel like the more stuff you add in there, you're never gonna be satisfied.
I think the older the woman gets, the less she'll be satisfied with one man because she's been through so much. And I think, like Anton said, ignorance is bliss. The younger chick, she don't really know what she like until the guy either puts her through that experience or she goes through it. The older chick, she said that was her second marriage. I mean, I'm not surprised that, she, like I said, she figured out she likes women more than men. So the older she got, the more she kind of, got pickier or thought, I need other things outside of my man, figure out the women. But if she was younger, I'm pretty sure that thought process wouldn't have happened. Like you said, she just figured it out.
I will say this because I thought of something. It's something Anton, typically I would say, even JR say this. My friend, I thought about it. So the girl she's with, more of what do you call it, like a butch dude or whatever case may be. I met her husband. I ain't gonna say he's feminine, but you just say he's a dater, right? We keep it simple. I know how I carry myself, and I know. Because she told me, we had a conversation where she was like, yeah, he's my best friend and everything. I tolerate it, so we have sex from time to time, whatever. But how I carry myself and stuff, and she told me where she at, how she feels. Like, she approached me, like saying, hey, I want to get with you. So I think, it goes back to the right man is in someone's presence and things like that. They get that masculine, nature. I think they just naturally conform. So it could just be a lot of the reasons why they're in both open relationships. Their men aren't masculine because the women I know that are in those situations, they don't have masculine men.
It's more on the men's fault, if the relationship kind of fails or the women looks to step out. But I mean, there is some like the women doing it and not telling the man, like they being sneaky and cheating, like that's just cheating. No. If she don't tell the guy before she does it and he's not cool with it or he is cool with it, you know what I mean? But if she's behind his back, that's something different.
How's it the man's fault that she decides she want to be lesbian or full-fledged lesbian?
Well, like
how's that the man's fault though?
Well, she got a lesbian, the dyke, right? That's a masculine woman. They got buzz cut and everything. And he's saying that the man is feminine. So, I mean, I'm sure if he was more masculine and probably laid it down right in the bed and didn't even have her think about the women, she'd be straight. But he probably is deficient in some things.
But she wanted plastic. She wanted plastic. She wasn't looking for the real. She wanted plastic.
I don't think
so. I mean, if that's what she wants, she should have just stuck with that.
I think it's a beta buck situation, and then she kind of cool with the girl for some reason. I don't know. I don't know her at a specific reason, but I don't think it's as simple as she's just lesbian.
But he said that said she went with the woman. She went with the woman, right? That's what you said, right? Goodwill spirit.
Yeah.
So she was denying. She was denying herself. That's all she was doing. She probably stayed with this dude just for her family, friends, loved ones, for the front. But on the backside, she really wanted to split. So she should have stuck with it. Don't have this man dragging him along because that's what you really want. That's what you really want. Then let me know. I'll move on. I'll find me a real woman who wants a man.
But like I said, though, then yet she came and approached me. So that's what I'm saying. Like I said, I know how I carry myself. So
well, maybe they was using you, big brother. You was just a middleman.
No, I'm married. I'm married. I'm good. I'm just saying, like, I ain't pressed the whole situation. I'm saying I carry myself in that way, that demeanor, being that man and stuff like that. So.
And she wanted to get with him apparently as a married man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know. Like I said, it seems like the guy's deficient. Is for some reason she looking to a girl for some reason. Even like a masculine girl for some reason. I don't understand. I don't know her.
All right, God will. I gotta rotate you out and bring somebody else in. Appreciate you calling in.
I understand. I appreciate y'all. Have a good one. Right. Anton, I'll send you an email. All right.
But you probably right. You probably right on the most part.
What's going on, Mr. Logic? You gonna chime in on this conversation? You on mute, just so you know, sir.
Okay. Yeah. The thing is, I mean, it's a good topic, man. I respect y'all brothers, man, because y'all having an actual, you know what I'm saying, chill conversation. Nobody yelling, nobody hollering. So peace out to you for that. But the real reason why a lot of guys, they compromising. So these guys, they want sex. They want access to sex. They want to have this polygamous relationship, especially as they gain more value. But the thing is that that's their way of getting they woman to give them what they want. It's a compromise. All these open relationships, it's a compromise. So they're compromising with their woman to say, hey, let's have an open relationship instead of just being a man and say, hey, look, it is what it is.
But the thing is, I think it's not just
some things not negotiable though. Some things are just not negotiable, and that's one of them.
We're not talking about just on the man's side. It's also on the woman's side where she can step out and do what she wants. It's both ends. We're not just talking about just the man because he has enough value and options. We're talking about both ends.
I'm saying the same thing too, though. But what I'm saying is that these men are not lean today. So now these men across the board, they're compromising. So now as they compromise, they can't get what they want because no matter what you say, no matter where you go in history, men of a certain stature always have their access to multiple women. You know what I'm saying? If you go to the hood, the drug dealers, the dope boys, the preachers, they always have they had their pick of the litter.
Not all of them in the same category.
Well, no, but we're about men in general.
Ain't extended no grace.
No, men in general always had.
I know what you're saying. I'm just making a joke, bro.
You good? It's cool. But that's the thing. So now in a modern day society, guess what they're going to do? They're going to compromise. So when you look at why would Steph Curry sit here and compromise with his lady? Because if he don't, then now you got this cancel culture with this modern society. Back in the day, you know what I'm saying? He would have just said, hey, look, you know what? He wouldn't even told her nothing. You know what I'm saying? He would have did his thing. He would have had these side babies or whatever. He would have took care of it. And I'm not saying that that's right or wrong, but what you said now with these open relationships, it's these men not having the balls to be men and they're compromising with these women.
I think he got ahead of it and didn't want a Will Smith situation. He didn't want to be Will Smith. He didn't want everyone to find on their own and people think, oh, my wife is cheating on me with this other young dude, and I kind of just allowed it. He's getting ahead of it. He's like, nah, we open, and I'm about to be out here doing what I want, and she can do what I don't really care. I mean, I think, but I don't know. I think they were just trying to get ahead of the press. And
what you're saying right now is he already did exactly what I said. He already compromised with his woman. He already done that. Whether the public know or not, he already compromised with her. So that was the compromise to say, hey, let's have an open relationship. Because the only reason she want to have an open relationship to kind of get back at him. You know what I'm saying? And women is devious like that.
I don't even think that they're actually, I don't even think she's actually open on her end. Like I said, I think it's more so even on her end, she doesn't want to be embarrassed. So she might say she's open, but I think she's still faithful.
Hold on.
I think she initiated
hold on. I'm just curious. I got a question. Somebody fill me in. Anton must have been under a rock. What the piss is going on with Steph and Ayesha Curry.
Supposedly, they are in an open relationship, but at this point, it's just a rumor. You know what I mean? My personal opinion, I believe she brought that to the table. I don't think he initiated that. This dude is literally, not to say that he don't have time to, there's always time for nonsense, but the level that he's on, dog, he don't have time to be bringing chicks in the hotel. Like, he don't have time for that. She's sitting home, she's cooking, she's bored, she's not feeling desired. I feel like she broached that subject with him. Like, we should try this out.
Did LeBron and Kobe not have time?
Plus, they haven't made any kind of attempt.
I don't know what to tell you. They always got time.
Display those rumors. They haven't made any kind of attempt to be like that's not true, or a spokesperson for them came out and says something wasn't true. So I think that she broached that too, because she's already said in the past that she wishes that people was hitting her up in her DMs, and she still wants to be, admired by dudes and be getting hit up and all of that. So I think that, meanwhile, Steph probably has that all the time. So I think that she, instead of getting divorced, they're probably just trying to try this out.
Do you think that was taken out of context, though?
No, I think on the verge.
What woman don't want to be attractive is what I'm saying.
There's a difference between saying, I'm pretty and I want people to think I'm beautiful versus I want dudes to see me too.
Which is one of the reasons. And I'm not saying that she didn't mean it the way that she said it. I'm just questioning everything, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think that it was just communicated wrong? Do you think that it was taken out of context? You see what I'm saying? Like,
well, she's a human being, so she's allowed to feel that way. I don't think she's vilified for feeling or wishing that.
Oh, yes, she is vilified. Yes,
well, no, I'm just saying, in terms of like, if we want to be honest about that, like, it's understandable. She's a woman. She wants attention. She also has access to a lot of money. She probably puts a lot into her appearance and her physical fitness and whatnot. And so she wants that attention, and she wasn't getting it to the level that Steph gets it, to speak to, I think, Jay's point that, his level is so much higher than hers that she's trying to compete with that. So she had like a cooking line. I'm sure she tried to get a fashion line going, and then she came out with a furniture line. So clearly in this specific situation, she's trying to establish her own individuality. And I think that this might be
and I don't agree with that either. Again, I'm just playing devil's advocate, right? As a guy, what guy, married or not, I don't know who married on the panel or not, what dude don't want to be attractive to the overall general population in a general sense?
Well, there is one. I'm sure any person.
I'm just being realistic. Like, if we don't get down to the nitty-gritty of it.
Absolutely. But there's a level of when it appears to come across as you're competing, then that's a different, you know what I mean? It's almost like a competition.
I agree. And I don't think, because I didn't hear what she said, right? So I'm just putting all of the pieces together. And she shouldn't have never said that. You know what I'm saying? At all. And I think that that's a reflection of him not having his chick in control. Like, that ain't even up for debate from my perspective. But I'm just saying in general, is that what she said, or was it taken out of context?
Hey, can I add something? Because I think we're missing a big point. See, we looking at all the stats with these people, right? These players. Y'all heard y'all say LeBron. Y'all brought up Kobe. Y'all brought up Steph. What all them three gentlemen have in common besides being NBA All-Stars?
I don't know. They can shoot.
They all got married young.
Married.
So now what you got to realize is that you can't substitute that level of experience. So now all of them got married young. So now they got the money to get somebody to sign them NDAs and all that kind of stuff like that or whatever. But every now and then some of them can leak out. But at the end of the day, that guy needed experience. And you know what I'm saying? A man gonna be a man.
But why would it leak out if nothing is happening?
Say it again.
I said, why could something leak out? Like, I'm not worried about anything leaking out because I'm not doing nothing.
Well, I'm not talking about you. Your name ain't.
I'm just saying. I'm saying in a general sense because I'm always bringing it back down to regular people, right? I consider myself a regular person.
Yeah, regular people.
Why would I be worried about something leaking out if I'm not doing nothing? That's what I'm saying.
But see, the thing is the more a little background about myself. I was in the military for 22 years.
Gotcha.
Right. The higher I got in rank, the more access I had to women. The
Right.
more bread I got, the more stature I got, the more access I had to women.
Right.
And then a man, no matter how strong you is, and you know what, it is what it is, he will exercise them options. If you don't know that, wait, okay, let me finish though before you said no. And I'm gonna put this in a control that you can actually look at it, right? In the military, what you got is when we deploy to Afghanistan, Iraq, all wives stay behind. You know what it turned to in Afghanistan and Iraq? A fuck fest.
Fair enough. And I'm not debating that part. But I'm saying that the greatest amongst us understand that dig discipline is the thing that's going to drive you to be much more successful.
But
I would never.
But who said? But see, you got to realize this.
But though. You said that all men will exercise that option. That's not true.
Yes, that's a fact.
It's not a fact.
It's not a holistic.
So you saying that they will exercise it or that they can exercise it?
No, they have the ability to exercise it, and they do.
No,
his issue is you're saying all. You can say most or maybe the majority.
Well, okay, now I mean, if we gonna take it literally,
I know for a fact that my dad had plenty of options, and he never exercised an option. Okay. I don't exercise options at all.
This is my thing. If I said all, I really don't mean all. I'm talking about the majority. So you know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about the minority. I'm talking about the majority. And the majority of men who have access to women will exercise them options until they gain that enough experience that they get old.
That may be true. However, I'm telling you that there's a segment of guys that just don't have the visibility. They have the access. They got the money. They get the resources. They can do whatever it is they want to do, and they have the resources to be able to cover it up better. And they just not talking, and they are not exercising options. I'm telling you, there's a segment of the population that they understand that being disciplined, because even in that, right? So like, let's just say, for example, I break it down and I segment it based off of the value of my time, right? And if I say that the value of my time based off of how much that an hour of my time costs, whether I'm sleeping, whether I'm playing video games, whether I'm kicking it on this panel or whatever, right? Let's say an hour of my time costs $150 an hour, right? 8,760 hours in a year. And you break that down by how much you're generating in a year. And let's say that an hour of your time, whether you're sleeping or you're woke, is $150 an hour. For me, I segment that and I say, well, if I'm spending 2 hours with this chick, it literally costs me $300 of my time. And guys spend a lot more than that just to get to the box before they even get the box. I'm not wasting my time on no chick when I feel like I can be doing something that actually adds value to my life, because she nothing but she just a moment. And so for me, it's easier for me to exercise dig discipline. And I ain't even talking about the spirituality. I ain't talking about the love for my wife, none of that. It's much easier for me to exercise this dig discipline because, first of all, I'm not wasting my time. And secondly, I feel like I'm better, like I'm more worthy. I'm dope. Why would I lower myself to allow a chick that don't mean nothing to me to ever even be in my presence?
Okay, can I come back with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
What kind of shades you got on right now?
Versace.
If you don't mind me asking, what kind of car you drive?
A Porsche.
A Porsche. Okay. So now, what you got to realize this. I'm just putting it out there. Men do certain things to gain attention from women. The Versace shades, the Porsches, all the clothes, the designer clothes. If it was no women on here, men would be running around bumming. We wouldn't care. Men do it to gain attention from the opposite sex. So
let me push. Go ahead. I'm sorry. My bad. Go ahead. You're right.
So now, even though I understand what you're saying and you're speaking for yourself, I get that. But what I'm saying is, naturally, what you do is we get up every day, we buy designer clothes, we look good, we will put on our cologne. Do we do all that for men?
Okay, so let me answer your question then. I could have went and got a Rolls Royce. I went and got the Porsche because I like the driving dynamics of the Porsche, right? Some of the clothes that I rock is $30 a shirt. Some of them is $800 a shirt. I like the way it feel and the way it look on my skin. As a matter of fact, real talk. I like my chick sitting next to me and feeling a certain type of way. I buy her $800 shirts too. Am I spending that type of money? And I've been married for 17 years since I was 22 years old, and I don't rock with no chick. Am I doing it for the attention of other women, or am I doing it because it's another reason and it makes us feel good together?
But if that's your logic,
no, wait, you got to answer the question and then you add the context.
Go ahead with the question again.
Am I doing it for the attention of other women, or am I doing it because it makes us feel good?
I can't tell you what you're doing it for, but what I can say it is, I think this cap right now.
What's cap?
Because at the end of the day, if your logic of what you're saying is true, then what you can do, if your woman respect all that and she respect you like that, why spend the money?
But we did go into that space where we didn't have no money and we wasn't spending money. We stayed down for the last 10 years. Hold on, wait. Let me answer your question.
I didn't say nothing.
We stayed, because I seen you about to answer. We stayed down for the last 10 years. Over the last 2 to 3 years, we just started enjoying life and spending our money because we worked hard in the fruits of our labor. I want to be able to look out over the water and enjoy myself. I can just go get a regular house. Why shouldn't I be able to spend the money because I've earned it? And are you telling me that the only reason that I get money and I buy certain things is just for the attention of women?
I'm saying that is, because I didn't make this conversation. This is an overall conversation. Men, and I don't care what nobody say. When men go and they get shaped up, they get lined up, they do this, they buy all this stuff, regardless of what you say. Men do it just like women. Women do it to seek the
no way, bro.
Hold on.
Let me ask you a question.
Hold on.
One at a time. Let them finish.
I'm gonna let y'all rock. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say this.
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna say, and that's cool. And I respect your opinion 100%. But I'm gonna say this. I respect your opinion, but I'm gonna let you. Let me just say this one thing. If you telling me that I take care of myself just because of the attention for women, I'm telling you, you dead wrong. I think that there's a segment of men that do things just for women, but I think that there's another segment of men that just hold themselves to a higher standard, and we're competitive across the board. Listen, when we go out on that basketball court, I want to be the dopest and I want to beat you, and it ain't no women around.
Okay.
Real talk. I'm competitive across the board. I always want to win. I want to win in every.
No. You cut me off though. So let me finish my statement so I can give you context so you can come back on. Right? Have you ever been somewhere where you've been isolated with just men for more than 6 months?
No.
So now I'm gonna tell you this. I have. Right? I'm giving it to you. So if you asking. See, I don't just say it because it sounds good. I've been isolated for a whole year on a fob in Afghanistan with just men, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what happened when it's just men?
What happened?
Men don't care. You'll see them, they don't shave, they don't get no haircuts, they just let it grow. They don't care. What men, they'll do just basic stuff of survival. Now you can transform that to another place in Afghanistan where it was a lot of women. We call it Bagram, the Air Force base. You saw it when people was falling off of the airplanes and stuff, right? You go to that base, it's a lot of women. It turned into a fashion show.
But here's the thing though, Mister, I'm gonna call you by the name. I don't like calling men Mister, but I'm gonna call you by the name that you got on your screen. All right. But here's the thing though, bro. I think that those guys that you're referring to, and we all just speaking theoretically because we don't know what every man would do, right? But opinion based. I think that those men that you're referring to, they are a reflection of the overwhelming majority of the population. And I think that that's why you see men unable to exercise dick discipline. That's why you see men that don't value marriage the way that I value it. And I'm telling you that there's also a minority and a segment of men that do things just because they dope. Real talk,
brother. And early when I was talking to Sway in the morning, I said specifically, I'm not talking to the minority. I'm talking to the majority.
That's fair.
Anytime,
but you said all men.
Okay.
Anytime all men.
Anytime you have conversations, it's just like you talk about Black Lives Matter. and then you start talking
but
about
but words matter. You cannot say
no.
can't
Listen,
say all men and
no.
then say that.
No, I did. I put as the brother Sway. I made sure that I said no. When I said all, most of the time I stopped it and I said a majority. Am I right, Sway?
I had to bring up the fact I knew what you were getting at, and I also knew where Anton was getting at. So that's why I was trying to clarify. Because if you talk to women and you start saying, "Oh, all men," if women say all men ain't shit, you'd be like, "What do you mean I ain't shit?" So you can't say all men anything. You can't say all women anything, and that's why I was trying to get you, because I knew he was going to say words matter. So you're right in the sense that you corrected yourself, but Anton's right in feeling the way he felt off the initial reaction because you did say all men. And I was trying to get you on that. All men do that or will do that.
Put like this: we're grown now, and we're to the point that we understand.
You froze up. You froze up.
No, he
didn't freeze on mine.
Oh, okay.
My fault.
Yeah, I figure we grown now, and then we be disingenuous to think that when somebody said all, that we know everybody. Like you said, brother, you're right. I don't know you. You might be that small amount. But when you're talking to the world, it's kind of insane to see him focus on that small amount.
But let me tell you why I focus on that.
I'm with you though. You can focus on that small amount.
No, because but that's the majority and the people that I run with. The overwhelming majority of the guys that I run with don't think the way that you're just describing them, right? So maybe it's just the circles that certain people run in, but the majority of the guys that I run with don't think like that. They don't move like that, and they don't move based off of what women think or how to impress women. They just dope. They just naturally dope. Real talk. So the majority of the guys that I know don't operate in that mindset, bro. That's why I said it, because I'm not just trying to speak to the minority of men. I'm talking about you can change the circumstances and the dynamics in which you operate when you surround yourself and you attract yourself to the right type of people. My network don't move like that, bro.
What kind of group is this? I mean,
we awesome. We legends.
Hey,
we like the Avengers out here.
Say it again.
We like the Avengers. We legends.
Y'all got to be the Avengers, yeah, because y'all. I mean, and it's good. I don't want to derail the conversation though, but it goes back to the initial point. Is that's what we see in this society today, especially in Black society, where you know what I'm saying. Like, and I can respect you because you know what I'm saying. You stand. I mean, I don't know if you married or not, but
yeah, I've been married for 17 years.
Okay, so yeah, you fall into that Kobe Bryant range, but I ain't gonna go on that like that. But the thing is that what's going on with a majority of men today is they get into these open relationships because they're compromising. They're compromising because
I agree with you on that.
Yeah, they want to do what men naturally been doing for years. That's just like when we groom our young boys to do the same thing. When our boys get young, we tell them that, yes, you know what? Ignore your nature. Ignore your nature and then do this for whatever, one woman or whatever we tell them. And even though the odds, it don't make sense, because if everybody use that logic and everybody get married, all men to get married, then what do you do to the overwhelming women that won't be married because it's not enough men?
Wait, hold on. You can't say that though.
Yes, I can.
Because first you gotta, well, you can say it, but first you gotta solve for the fact that the majority of men ain't married.
No, but
wait, you trying to put the cart before the horse. First, you gotta solve for the fact that it's a majority of the people that's not married in the first place. Men aren't married.
And guess why men will never get married like they did before? Because men are getting more conscious and they understand that it's
that's not why. Okay, the reason why men won't get married like they did before.
Let me finish the statement though.
Go ahead.
The reason men are not getting married at that rate no more, you know what I'm saying? It's a two-part. One part is because of system. And then the second part is because they understand basic mathematics. That if I do what you said do and everybody get married, what's supposed to happen of all these other women?
Well, let me tell you why you're wrong. First of all, statistically, there's more men on this earth than women. It's a fact. There are more men on this earth than women. You can go and look it up right now. So you're wrong right off the bat. You're wrong right off the bat. You can go and look it up right now. It's not hard to figure out. You can go and look it up. According to the census,
birthed a lot of men.
there is literally more men on this earth than women. So first of all, your whole premise is off. I don't know who told you that statistic. Secondly, one of the reasons why men don't get married is because there's no barrier to entry anymore. They don't have anything to work towards. You used to have to work towards being able to get somebody's daughter and have sex and doing a certain thing. You were shamed in operating in a certain type of way. Because there is no barrier to entry, then people are just doing whatever it is that they want. And the more freedom that you give people to choose for themselves, they usually choose wrong. So on both fronts, you're wrong.
Okay. Now, what was my first point that I brought up? That factor in this.
You were trying to say that there's more women, and then like, what are you going to do with all these women?
No. My first point I brought up was the system, right?
Oh, but
so
the system isn't even the biggest point. The biggest point is what are you requiring men to get what they want? What men used to do was you had to marry a woman to get sex. There's no requirement for that anymore, let alone babies. You can get a woman pregnant and she'll probably keep it, and you can get your kid, you can have sex without marrying nobody. So you can go your whole life getting the kids, sex with no marriage, no commitment, no responsibility. And you can do that with women nowadays. That's one of the biggest issues. And then you go into, okay, why would I even get married if it's not beneficial to me? That's the second part, the system.
Hold on.
It's no incentives.
The reason I said the first part is the system. That's why I can't believe Mr. Daniels didn't catch that before he came out here like that. Because when I say the system, let's use black men for an example, right? The system, how many black men do the system take out the equation?
Well, I'm not the one to debate in this one because I don't look at race. I look at
care. So can we say the system take a fair amount of black men out?
I'm not the person to debate on it. I don't align myself based off of race and color.
Huh?
I don't base my logic and the way in which I operate based off of ethnicity. I look at things and I operate and I rock with everybody. So I look at I'm not the person that you want to have this conversation with, is all I'm saying.
Is it fair? We can just put all in that. Is it fair to say it's more men than women? Is more men in jail than women?
Yes.
Okay, it's fair to say that, right? So now let's say this. Also, homosexuality, right? That takes a lot of men out the equation. And if you look at a lot of lesbians, they still do that. So when I just say the system, what I'm saying is that the system strategically, I'm saying the overall system, it strategically took a lot of men out of these equations. That's why you have a lot of women that's available. That was
one of the reasons why I don't want to go down this path, or why I'm choosing not to go down this path, is because I don't believe that the system did anything. So I don't believe in running in the Victim Olympics, and I don't want to go down that rabbit hole because it derails us from the conversation of what we're talking about with regard to open relationships and Ayesha Curry and all of that other type of stuff. Like, that's a never-ending path that I've been down 100 different times. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's people that disagree with me, but I just know that that's a discussion that's going to never end when we start talking about racism and jail and all of that in the system and stuff like that. So that's why I said I don't think you want to go there with me on that, because we not going to come back from that.
No, but when I say the system, I'm not talking about government. I'm talking about the system as a culture. So I'm not saying like the government and anything like that. I'm talking about the system as a culture. So whatever culture is, but it's all good though. But like I said, the premise, that was the breakdown of the premises. The premise still staying that, you know what, it's going to be what it is. Men they're going to always be the way they are. You can't change it. You can try
you just said that it's not going to be enough women on the earth for men to marry, and that's wrong. You never even acknowledged that.
I said it's not going to be enough. No, it still stands. I just told you. It still stands. Based on all the circumstances and everything I just put forward, it still stands.
Okay.
All right, I want to get Al basing this real quick, and then I got some other follow-up questions in regards to the open marriage. Al base, you want to chime in this real quick? Oh, you on mute? Just so let me unmute you, because I think I did it. There you go.
Yeah. So I think this whole sexual revolution and stuff is our issue. Like Anton talks about all the time. It starts with the men and this whole culture that we technically started, and to be honest, us men, as strong as we are, and the fact that we are not equal with women as far as strength, toughness, all that, we can't compete with women in the sexual arena. They don't have a bottom, in my opinion. Not if they eat in the streets. They don't have a bottom. They can't be satisfied. I honestly think that
you said we can't compete with what? Say that. I'm trying to understand what you're saying.
I said we can't compete with women in the sexual arena. They can't be satisfied.
Yes, we can.
No, that's if we do it the right way, like you did, Anton.
That's the whole logic. It's to do it the right way, and then you can.
No, that's my point. If we do it the right way, yes, we can compete because we'll hold that woman's mind, and we'll be able to satisfy her sexually as much as we can. But the point is, if they're in the streets, though, I don't think they can be satisfied. I don't think these women will settle their minds because it's not only physical, it's spiritual.
In the streets or for the streets? Because, I mean, if you're not married, you're in the streets. But if you for the streets, I mean, you just staying there forever. You no one gonna wife you.
Well, no, either one. I don't think a woman changes.
I think the thing that can't be satisfied is the attention. That is, they can't get enough attention, however that comes for a lot of,
yeah, that's true. But
right, because
my point is the whole sex thing. I mean, I ain't gonna say it's all women. I shouldn't say it's all women, but there are a lot of women that can get. I mean, they can go for hours. You know what I'm saying?
Hours of what?
Of sex, bro.
At one time?
Yes.
Hey, I look at it like it's good for them.
Listen, bro. If
the point is,
down.
If we do it right, we set a ball for a woman. If we do it right, we set a ball for a woman. Or being the person we should be.
What type of chicks you dealing with, bro?
Leading her. I'm not saying I'm dealing with that. I'm just saying from my understanding of the women. For instance, I wasn't really dating her because I wanted to. She looked good, but I just knew she was crazy, so I didn't really go that far with her. But she wanted to date me. Fine as hell. I'll just be honest. Just beautiful, big. What I like, big breasts, everything. But she was for the streets. I knew it. She told me she had a what is it? Maintenance man on the side. I didn't mind asking these questions. She told me she had 2 kids. I mean, bad as hell though.
Bro, this is going bad for you.
No, you should have ran from her. You should have ran from her.
Hold on, y'all. Like I understand she got kids and all that stuff, but it gets better. Go ahead and hear him out. Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you, JR. I never said I tried to get in a relationship with her. So I mean, I had her around. I guess I was trying to make her for the streets in a way, but I didn't even really do that. But to be honest, so with her though, she kept reaching out to me afterwards. She was a narcissist. She had it in her mind that she was gonna get me. So she kept calling me. Well, I just talked about it. I talked to her, and I didn't mind talking about her other exploits. And I asked her, so who you trying to mess with now? Well, she told me about a guy that she said she was in love with. Oh, I love him so much. I love him so much. I want to be with him. Okay, so they breaking up back and forth. She keep calling me in my relationships. She's trying to reach out to me. So sometimes I reach out. I talk to her as she's going through this.
Uh-huh.
And this last time we spoke.
Hey, look at Hank.
This last time we spoke, she was like, well, he finally proposed to me. And she sent me the picture of the ring. And this was at the dinner table when it happened. I'm like, why? Why are you even sending me this information? And well, we talked after this because I was baffled by why she would even send me a picture of her getting engaged to this guy.
Were you trying to be the side piece? Is that what you?
Bro.
Because that's what you sounded like. You sounded like she had her own main stuff, and you was the side.
I didn't say I was trying to be side.
Let him land, Sway. Let him
hold on, Sway. Let him finish.
It's not like I was reaching out to her; she was reaching out to me. You understand that, right?
Yeah, we got you.
All right, so but it's not, and so when she was, but I wasn't really entertaining, seeing her and all that stuff. I was just listening to her story. I was just hearing her out. I mean, because I already knew how she was. I already knew what she was going to do when we talked.
Right.
So when we finally talked, after she had gotten engaged, and this was a couple of weeks after she had gotten engaged, and she sent me that picture She finally told me that, I'm getting tired of him. He's boring. Good guy, worked, loved her to death. He was always in love with her. That's what she told me about him. She likes to drink. He would go out to drink. They would dance. I mean, she had him waiting for the, punani, even though she had the side piece that she would mess with every once in a while, which was not me.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, but she still was like, I don't really want him like that anymore.
What?
But she was madly in love with him. That's what she told me a couple of weeks ago before she got engaged. So you got to understand, these women are different beasts. They are spiritually motivated, first of all.
Hey, what'd you do with her?
She still contacts me. I've cut that off. I hadn't talked to her. She's crazy, man. She's scared.
Why would you even entertain her that long, man?
That's what I was
There's no way.
Woman.
I don't give a shit how beautiful
like, you know a whole,
Hey,
like you know a whole lot.
Hey,
a whole lot to cut off.
Did you hit it? Did
Sound
you hit
like
it?
a pen pal.
Yeah, we had sex.
Y'all hit
Okay,
it?
now the truth started to come out. No,
No,
she
but I didn't really listen.
She put that thing on.
I didn't do much.
You said that she was trying to get you.
Yeah, she put that thing on.
Yeah, she sounded like she got you, bro.
Hey, Mr. Logic, you win, bro. I give it to you.
No,
I concede. I give you the win. You got the victory.
Have you ever dealt with a narcissistic woman?
Bro, it is literally a situation of beta bucks alpha Fs, because you the side piece. You the side piece, my guy. She wanted to finesse this guy and make him because he a good guy. He know he ain't gonna cheat on her, but she knew he wasn't matching everything she needed out of a man. So that's you. That's why she kept talking to you about her emotional stuff and what she going through and blah blah blah. If it was me and I wasn't trying to be the side piece or whatever it was, I would have said, I'm not trying to talk about that. You either coming over to do some shit or we're not talking at all. I'm not about to talk about your marriage or your relationship and all the other stuff if it was just you trying to do that. Like, you decide.
Like you said,
I'm sure about the fact that he said that she was trying to get him, and then towards the end of the conversation,
she got him.
Well, she put that thing on it.
Yeah, she was
put that thing on, yeah. That's what she did. She threw it all in your face. You didn't know what to do. She said on your face, and that's probably what happened. She said on your face.
What was the
took you to a whole new level?
Hold on. So what point were you bringing it back to relative to the story? Like what were you saying?
Okay, so a lot of these women that are in the streets can't be satisfied. I mean, it's all a circle. We talking about Ciara. We're talking about
man. You're talking about a woman. How old was she? How old was this woman?
Megan Good. These women can't be satisfied. It's not about just sex, though.
You told me that you found. Hold on, wait. You told us that you
was giving her.
You said that you found her on the streets.
What?
You said she was for the streets when you met her, right?
I didn't say she. Well, okay. I'll break it down for you. Okay.
Wow.
So when I first met her, she was very attractive, so I wanted to consider it. I'm open to considering things for people.
Let me ask you something.
A relationship.
But
as I talked to her and I got to know her, I realized she wasn't shit. I was like, I'm not gonna.
But wait. I thought you was in a relationship. Hold on.
I never said.
Wait. So you found out she wasn't about nothing, but you was still messing with her.
I wasn't really messing with her like that.
You wasn't really messing with her, or you wasn't messing with her.
Oh, really?
You was entertaining her, Al.
I didn't hold true to what.
You didn't know, and that's what a lot of I didn't.
I didn't hold true to what I believe. I didn't hold true and say, well, I'm not going to mess F you because I just don't think it's going to work out. I knew it wasn't going to work out. I knew I wasn't going to go.
The first thing that you said before you started telling this story is you said, okay, I'll be trying to make him for the streets a little bit. Like that's literally what you
said. I never said that.
Okay.
How did I say I try to make him
for the streets? I apologize. You never said it.
Hey, Al, you don't have to make her for the streets. She sounds like she's already for the streets, dog. Because man, look at her. She had too many red flags for me. I wouldn't entertain it that long. You had conversations way longer than I would.
That was stupid. I agree.
No, but
she was crazy, bro.
How can we say she was for the streets? I mean, he was just her backup plan. That's it.
She for the streets.
There was no backup plan.
I'm just saying.
He's not going to marry that chick.
No. What I'm saying is that
first of all, if a woman has a backup plan, she's for the streets.
Okay. But here's the question that I always come back to is, Why he clearly indicated that he realized that she wasn't about nothing and he shouldn't be wasting his time with her. But he still wasted his time with her, which comes back to my whole.
How can you say?
Hold on. Which comes back to my whole mindset in the first place. If you value yourself so high as a man, why are you wasting your time and entertaining people that you know ain't got no value in your life? Is all I'm saying. Why don't we hold ourselves to a higher standard? Why is it always? I mean, yeah, I knew she wasn't worth nothing, but I still dealt with her and I bust her down, but she's still trash. And let me tell you how trash she is. I'm not even sitting there entertaining the story in the first place. She would not even have had the amount of time to tell me all of the stuff that she told you and all of this other type of stuff, let alone getting to the point to where I'm laying down with her. If you felt like you was more valuable and you felt like she was for the streets, why did you entertain it in the first place? All I'm saying.
Listen, man. Let me break it down for you. I mean, you're right though. I'm not against what you're saying, but what I'm saying though is I don't know if you heard it. She was very attractive. Okay,
but you gotta have some discipline.
It's the logic.
There's no excuse.
Inability to have big discipline.
I made a mistake.
I said it in the very beginning.
I made a mistake by even entertaining her. I agree.
Yes, you did. You know
you
what?
Knew all along you wanted to hit that. You were just sitting down there waiting. You knew from the jump. She had everything.
Made a bad investment,
she checked all them boxes when it came to them looks, thick thighs and big breasts.
No, it ain't about
you back in a couple
I don't see how we
didn't
condemn him for that though. Because at the end of the day, he was being a man. You know what I'm saying? It's regardless, just like this. You know what?
No.
Even though that she put him in a position as a plan B. That's why through everything he said, she exercised, and when she sit in that ring, you know what I'm saying, she let him know, hey, look, you know what, it's over, or whatever the case. But it's like, hey, he could have been doing the same thing. They were just two adults. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, if I was him, I would have smashed her too. He said she looked good.
He a man until she take the condom out the trash and somehow she end up pregnant and call him it's your baby. He
all right, y'all. Hey, no way. I know we're getting a little bit off topic. I want to get us back on topic real quick. Al Base, AI Base. I'm not sure which one it is, but I appreciate you calling in. Thank you, sir.
All right, man.
All right, big bro.
All right, bro.
I did want to ask this question in regards to the open marriage. Does marriage in the public eye have to appear perfect for the brand?
Appear perfect? No, it don't have to appear perfect. I think that's the problem in the first place, not just with marriage, with pastors across the board, is that I think that the men of yesteryear and the people of yesteryear failed us because they wanted to appear perfect, which it didn't give us the solution on how to overcome or deal with the situations that we were going to run into. They didn't give us the blueprint. They gave us a perception. And so I don't think it's necessary for it to appear perfect. I think that in anything, including marriage, people need to give you the recipe on how it is that you can overcome with it and deal with it effectively. So I don't think that it has to be that it appears perfect. I think that it just has to be, it can't be out of control. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be out here in open relationships and all of that other type of stuff, because that's just wrong on a fundamental level as far as being a man. Like, I can't allow my chick to be getting buzzed down by another dude. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's extreme versions of it. But I think that also it's not about it being perfect. It's just about it. How do you get to the success is all I'm asking, right? Most people that want to get advice, they don't want to get advice from somebody that's going through it. They want to get advice from people that successfully married, that overcame it. And so that's the question that people should be asking ourselves. So I don't think it's about it being perfect per se, but I think that it's more or less about it being that it having the results that it is that we want people to have. I think that's a more realistic expectation.
You know, Anton, I'm gonna have to disagree with you. If the brand is the marriage, right, and the brand is these two people coming together and they're getting all these opportunities because they're a couple, then they do have to project a certain amount of like
what? Give me an example, because most people don't have it based off of a brand of being married. It's based off of something else, and then they just so happen to be married. Very few people are building a brand off of marriage by itself.
Well, I would agree that they fail. I do think that they fail, which is what I'm saying, that, you know, if that is the brand, like let's take any of Jennifer Lopez's marriages or any of you know what I mean, when Jennifer Lopez and Alex Rodriguez were together, they were just as much promoting themselves as a couple as they were individuals. And I think for them couple years, Alex Rodriguez benefited off of being linked to Jennifer Lopez in his career, in terms of his broadcast career, him being relevant to be able to get a job with the Major League Baseball and whatnot. I think that
they never got married. That's not a brand based
in terms of them being together. The act of marriage, I'm not necessarily thinking about that. I'm thinking about their public perception as being a couple.
Give me a brand that's based off of marriage.
Megan Good, and that dude.
Megan Good, Devon Franklin, I think is
that was built on. Like they started their relationship on celibacy, a celibacy tour of how marriage should be.
And when the marriage is brand, it almost never works. It usually doesn't work. But I think that in order for it to work, it does have to be presented as this perfect couple. And then as soon as it breaks down, the brand breaks down. So there's one person who does their thing and another person does their thing, but then they're not necessarily advertised as relationship goals or nothing like that. You don't go online and see them and they're like, oh, I wish I can have my relationship. You go to E! Channel, they're not touting certain people who are married and they're both celebrities as relationship goals the way they might Kim and Kanye or whoever it is. If Kim and Kanye's, if part of their image is the fact that they're married, that part of their image has to be, well planned and put together and on his P's and Q's at all times. They always have to be presenting themselves as a unified front. You can go throughout Hollywood, Katie Holmes and Tom Cruise, they always had to look perfect when they were together. The list goes down the line. Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, in some aspects, they had to present themselves as a perfect family, perfect couple, loving people, even though we know, statistically speaking, that's almost impossible. Every time we saw them together, part of their positive image was the fact that they are a healthily married couple. And I think that in order for that to stay that way, they have to always present themselves in a positive light. And it can never look shaky, because as soon as it starts to look shaky, look at Steph and Ayesha Curry. Part of the rumor of their being in an open relationship is to save their marriage. People, when you read about it, people around their circle are saying that they're kind of on the verge of divorce. They have too many individual things going on to where they're starting to clash in terms of, well, I want to do this and I'm the one making all the money. And she's probably saying, well, I want to do my own thing. All of that comes out of the fact that part of their image is having a perfect marriage. And now that that's crumbling, everything else is crumbling around them. So it never works out, but I think it doesn't work out because there's no way to make it perfect.
You don't think it worked out for Barack and Michelle?
Oh, yes. Yes, it worked out for Barack and Michelle. They are by far an anomaly.
What about Jay-Z and Beyonce?
No, I don't think that it really,
You don't think it works? It's working out for Jay-Z and Beyonce?
I think that they built a bigger brand on their turmoil in their marriage than them being positive. Them almost breaking up back when he had the.
But that's what I'm saying, is that couple goals isn't necessarily about it being perfect. It's finding a way to overcome the obstacles in order to be successful. I don't think it's built off of the turmoil. I think that it's built off of the entirety of the picture that's being showcased of, this is what men do, this is what women do, this is how you stay married, and this is how you successfully raise a family. I think that you discount it by only looking at one aspect of what their marriage is. If you're telling me that their brand and their tours and all of this other type of stuff is entirely just built off of turmoil, I got to push back off that.
I wouldn't say that it's just built off of turmoil, only because they both as artists have a very long history of being individual artists. So we as fans can compartmentalize them as being their own entities. But look at, maybe another couple to where they haven't been out in the limelight that long and they're known as a couple. One of them has to be a bigger light than the other one, or it usually does not work. Eventually they'll break up, or, there's cheating rumors, or we've agreed to, amicably part ways, with love and appreciation. And that's because they can't maintain that perfect image. So when the marriage is part of the brand, it almost never works, because
I think that they have become greater, like exponentially, as a result of marriage being a part of their brand, all the way around.
But see,
all the way around. And not only them, you gotta also throw in Cardi and
Offset.
Cardi and Offset. If you're not telling me that they both have benefited significantly across the board from being married, and it has not been painted as a perfect picture in any way, shape, or form, I can't agree with that, bro.
But Cardi B and Offset, are they relationship goals? No one wants to have
No,
that.
no.
Life.
We talked about
benefiting.
We talked about benefiting by not necessarily presenting a perfect marriage.
Right.
It's not about relationship goals. That's for women. We don't give a fuck about no relationship goals. Like, I don't know no man that said relationship goals. I'm talking about benefiting, although your marriage is not being presented as being perfect.
I don't know if Cardi B benefits off of that marriage to Offset.
Are you crazy?
They just have to look like they get along. I think is the biggest thing. If they look like they get along, they'll be marriage goals. They're out doing fun things. They're not like angry and talking shit about each other on Twitter. They'll be like, that's marriage goals, especially if they're famous. You know, they're like marriage goals or whatever it is. But it just seems like they have to get along. If like the cheating thing and whatever, I guess that's when they really like. If any time the man steps out is the biggest thing I think it has, because our media is kind of run by women. So it's anytime the man steps out, that's where the whole marriage goals or whatever kind of drops off. But up until then, if they just get along and look like they're getting along and happy, they're like, oh, marriage goals, blah, blah, blah.
What about LeBron and Savannah?
Well, most people don't know LeBron stepped out. Most people don't know that.
Well, see, y'all
wait. That's not what we're talking about, is whether or not he stepped out. Is he a bigger star as a result of being presenting Kobe and Vanessa?
No, I got to say no. It's not.
So you telling me Kobe ain't heralded for being a great father and all of that?
No. This is
even though he went through the turmoil.
Because you're missing one thing. See, it's been a shift in culture, and nobody's talking about it. Because you could name me Isaiah Thomas' wife. You couldn't tell me, unless you was really following this guy, name me Eric B. and Rakim wife or girlfriend or who he was screwing. See,
they're not presenting themselves. Then marriage is not a part of their brand.
No. Okay, but marriage ain't part of Lil Baby brand. But we know who Lil Baby's screwing.
But he not married.
But no, this is what I'm saying. You see, look.
No. I'm asking for clarification. I'm not debating.
I said it's a culture switch right now. They're so involved. Everybody's so involved in these relationships, whether it's marriages or whether they just flat out screwing. That, like I said, you can tell me who KRS-One was screwing. You can tell me who Eric B. and Rakim was screwing. But you can tell me who Lil Baby, Lil Durk. You can tell me all these guys now. It's a culture switch. So now with these culture switch, you see that it pushing this whole little, all this relationship narrative and all this kind of stuff like that. When back in the day, we didn't care who they were screwing.
Yes, we did.
No, we didn't.
Bro, listen, I'm talking about married couples. So I guess we on two different pages as far as the different people who they screwing. I'm just talking about married couples that are in the public eye, that their brand is largely tied to them being married. Those are the type of people that I'm talking about.
No, but what I'm telling you, it's a culture switch, because you can tell me who Isaiah Thomas' wife was.
Well, he's never had a brand that's been tied to married anyway. So why is he even a part of the conversation?
So that's my point. Exactly. It's a culture switch. Because back in the
culture
day,
switch?
we never.
No, I'm asking, what is the culture switch?
The culture switch is switched to what we're looking at now. Where back in the day, we didn't care who they were screwing. We didn't care who they was married to. We didn't care about their personal life like that. We cared about what they did. Their brand existed off of them. Isaiah Thomas, all these individuals, they brand.
Yeah, it's always going to be a lot of people's brand that exists based off of them. But for the people who continue to elevate their brand as a result of tying themselves to somebody, and they use their marriage in order to do that, the question then becomes:
name me one marriage brand in the 80s.
I was born in the 80s. I was a child. I don't know.
Ronald Reagan and Nancy Reagan.
When did Nancy and Ronald become black?
I thought we were talking about color.
No,
I thought we were talking about color. I thought we were just talking about.
I'm just saying
too.
No, I'm saying even Ronald and Nancy was not no relationship goals. You would not see them on the meme.
She ran the country. Some people say that Nancy ran the country because he had Alzheimer's.
No, but you would not see no relationship goals with them, like you see the Beyoncés, like you see with the Jay-Z's, like you see with the Kanye's and Kim. Nobody will say, "Hey, I want to have a relationship like Ronald Reagan and Nancy Reagan." That didn't
marriage
exist.
has always been the goal for the overwhelming majority of the population. Even men today, the overwhelming majority of them say, "I want to be married."
No, listen, when you say relationship goals, all this stuff you see today.
I'm not saying I didn't say relationship goals.
Well,
No,
Anton, let me revisit something you said. You said that Cardi B benefits off of her marriage to Offset. How do you? In what way?
I think that they both have benefited and they've become bigger celebrities. I'll give you another one: Gucci Mane and the other chick, Keisha Kior. I think that they have largely bothly benefited as a result of championing a marriage in the public eye.
So now that,
even though it hasn't been necessarily perfect.
Oh, see, I would disagree with that. Gucci Mane and his marriage to his wife has been presented as one of the most positive situations in rap music.
I said not perfect. You had a bunch of people that was coming over talking about, yeah, I used to talk to her before him and all of this other type of stuff. Like,
but what would perfect look like when we're talking about marriage to Gucci Mane? What does that? We have to
consider the question that JR presented. And I'm going back to the question that JR presented.
Yeah, the question was, does marriage in the public eye have to appear perfect for the brand?
That was the question. And so my argument, according to the question, is no, it does not have to appear perfect, because there's countless examples, even of celebrities, where it has not appeared perfect, but it still benefited the couple as a whole. That's what I'm answering.
And I don't think it should. I mean, in the public eye, I don't think it should, because the more you try to perceive it as perfect, is the more you're setting yourself up for failure. The more you're setting yourself up for failure. If you think like perfect is a box that you're attempting to put yourself in, nobody can withstand that, yo. We're fallible.
All right, I got another follow-up. I got some people that's want to come up, and before I do, I just want to make sure we have our discussion. Got a couple questions, and then I'll open it up to kind of talk about whatever it is you guys want to talk about in regards to this topic. But open marriage, is that like a selfish mentality? We often hear people that base their marriages off of being Christians, like the Christian belief system. So by bringing in open marriage, is that a selfish mentality?
I mean, I think it is personally, because marriage is supposed to be about sacrifice in a lot of ways. You're supposed to be sacrificing your personal wants and needs, personal desires that may develop over time. You're supposed to sacrifice that for the happiness of your spouse, or at least that's something that you talk about. And then if your spouse isn't with it, then that's something that you are ideally supposed to sacrifice if you believe in those kinds of vows. So plus, what is an open marriage really? It's one thing to go hang out with someone. It's another thing to be sexually active with them. And so if we're talking about, should my wife or should your husband have friends that they go hang out with independent of you, that might be one thing. I'd always take open marriage to mean you can freely go out on dates and possibly have sex with someone outside of your marriage. And yeah, I think that that's just, you feeling yourself, you think that your value within the dating market or the sexual market is high, and you want to go exercise those options. And I think that that's specifically a personal thing. Now, whether a debate can be made on if that's healthy or not, or if monogamy is a real thing that we should expect and whatnot. But as far as you want to do that, I mean, that's still personal pleasure. So yeah, I would consider that to be a self-centered decision that you want to make. You pretty much want to go out and experience new things because you become bored with the old thing. So I think that that's, a self-centered emotion that you would have.
JR, you gonna ruin Hink. You gonna give him a migraine with these open marriage questions. Hink ain't computing. Hink is about to blow a bottle fuse, bro. What's going on, Hink?
Man, look here, big brother. I'm just not a fan of it, man. I don't know where it's acceptable. Not in my household. I don't know anybody's household who want to see their wives with another man in an open relationship like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not with that. I ain't got nothing to do about religion or not. I'm just not for it.
Well,
I'm a hog about mine. I'm a hog about my money. I'm a hog about my ass. I don't want nobody else taking my wife's ass.
I want to ask you this. Like if the man says that, he wants this, and the wife is willing to compromise because she wants to make sure that he has everything he needs in order to continue to be successful. Like, are you okay with the man being able to do it?
Me personally, no, I'm not.
You had to think about it. You sure?
Man, look,
You know, what if
I
your
didn't know
wife
if you was
said,
talking. Yeah, I didn't know if you was talking to me or somebody else.
okay,
I'm just not with it, man. I'm just not with it at all, big brother. I promise you, I'm not.
if your
It
wife
ain't
allowed
going.
you to,
And look,
if your
if she
wife
asks me
allows
that
you to have
question,
it,
Jay, I understand and it sound good, but I have no more respect for you if that happens. None.
okay. Anybody else want to chime in on her? Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, I just think the open marriage, I think it's an imbalance. You know what I mean? I think it's an imbalance that you didn't address initially, or something you might have known of the person. You didn't address it. And the same thing that you didn't address ended up making you compromise. You know that you couldn't keep up with this person sexually. You knew they were a deviant, but you kept like, I'm gonna get it together. And then it just got so overwhelming, and you were like, you know what? All right, let's try it. Whether it's on the woman's side or the man's side.
Plus, what's the difference between an open marriage and being separated? Because, I think it would be weird that if you in an open marriage, that means like eventually y'all come back to each other and are still married and are in a intimate relationship. And that's just weird to me. I think that you're fooling yourself if you think that that's going to work long term. It always seems like a last ditch effort. It's a big compromise, but it always seems like a last ditch effort to keep yourself from getting divorced. Even that means that both of y'all got issues that y'all need to work out, or one of y'all has like crazy issues and the other one's looking to get some kind of revenge or something like that. So instead of divorcing, you give like somebody some kind of pass to go do whatever they want to do. But it just all seems like nonsense. You may as well just separate. If you stand together for the children, okay, that's understandable. But even then, you can consider yourself separated. I'd rather see Steph Curry and Ayesha have decided to separate for a time being versus they got an open marriage, because then it seems like there's something else going on. And I don't think that's good for their image, but I don't know. Maybe this is something that they could get over and then they're stronger for it. And in the long term, maybe they're expecting some kind of empathy and understanding, but I just don't see that happening.
I don't know, man. Maybe this is a norm. I couldn't really see if we saw that they separated. I think that might have been worse. Right now, it's just a speculation. Right now, it's not nothing that's been actually. But if they was to separate, that's something that's concrete that we know will tarnish their image. So, go ahead.
Quick question for Hank. All right, so like Iman Shumpert and Tiana Taylor, like, I don't necessarily consider that, even though it can fall under an open marriage, but they go out and they bring somebody in. Like, they both agree this is somebody we want. They bring that in. Do you view that an open marriage differently than, you and your significant other saying, let's bring a little toy in and then boom, throw them back when we finish with them? Do you view that differently than the open marriage?
Man, not at all. There is no difference, dog. If there's another man laying in my bed, that's a
I think you're
problem.
talking about man, but let's leave it on women.
If there's another woman laying in my bed, that's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I would have.
That's a problem for me, because I'm like this, man. If that's what you want and that's what you can have her. I don't want to be no part of this. It ain't my type party, and I'm gonna move on. And I wish them nothing but the best. I'm done. I got no respect for you. Once I lose my respect for you, you are shit water to me.
What's going on, Ricky?
Hey, peace to the guy. Taylor might be the finest chick I've ever seen in my entire life, bro. She is gorgeous. Tiana Taylor, bro. She is so fine to me, bro. That's just a caveat.
What's going on, Ricky? What you got for us, brother?
Hey, peace to the guys. Man, I to kind of follow back on what y'all was just talking about how celebrities are viewed. I don't think the game has changed. I just think what changed, like the brother was saying, he was saying that the culture is changing. I think the access is what's changed. You know what I mean? Back in the days, you didn't have access or the means or the media to be able to see inside certain celebrities' relationships. You know what I'm saying? It was like, say, for example, Michael Jordan and his wife. even though Mike was out there doing what he doing, social media, we didn't have social media and the means to get fingers inside their relationship and get the details of what's going on. And when it comes down to marriage, what I think what's wrong with most people is, especially when you're looking at celebrity couples, bro, is that why are you looking to another person when y'all don't know the intricate details? Y'all don't know the pillow talk. Y'all don't know the agreements and the bonds and things that been made, and try to base your relationship, oh, this is what I gotta have, because that'll never be you. You see what I'm saying? That'll never be you. These people, y'all don't know, and this and shout out to Antoine and shout out to Anton Daniels, bro, because what he's saying is true.
Rick.
Shout out to him, bro, because what he's saying is true. What y'all don't understand, you know why Antoine marriage works? Because he did it the right way. A lot of people not doing their marriages the right way no more. Y'all looking for guidance from people, and y'all don't know what their situation is. Y'all don't know the circumstances behind it. Y'all don't know if that marriage is just for views. Y'all see what I'm saying? And what it really comes down to is that you looking for something, you looking for leadership with somebody else because you don't believe in your own leadership within yourself. You don't feel that, and within your relationship, you're able to come and build a foundation because you don't know how. So you're looking outside yourself for something that's already there. You're supposed to be picking a mate off the how can I say this, off the standards that you want met, not the standards that Jay-Z or Beyonce want met, or Tiana Taylor and a basketball player, or Kanye, or that's not your relationship. That's not your relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care. I love my wife to death, bro. I've been with my wife since I was 20. Since I've been 20 something. I love her to death, bro. She my life. But if she says she want to open a relationship, I'm gonna open the door for her to leave. I'm gonna open the door for her to leave, because that's not a marriage. A marriage, I'm not saying people don't slip up. I'm not saying people don't have issues, but the part of a marriage is building past that and getting over it. Right? If it's an open marriage, it's not a marriage at all, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a marriage at all. Everybody want to keep saying it's cheaper to keep her. Yeah, but what's cheaper to keep? Your sanity and your mental health, or your finances?
Hey, Rick, let me ask you a question, bro. What do you think about divorce in general? Just on a general sense, like, because I know people go through things, and like you mentioned, stuff happened or whatever, maybe early or later or whatever. What are your thoughts towards divorce in a general sense?
In my general sense, Anton, I look at divorce as a cop-out. I look at divorce as a cop-out, right? Especially in the manner that is used today, right? Everybody feel like a divorce is like an abortion.
I agree 100%.
No, man, this is the person you chose. Deal with your consequences. And like I said, it's the access that's the problem. It don't matter what your relationship looked to the outside world. All that matters is what it looked like to you. Right? But everybody want the easy way out. Everybody want Velcro sneakers instead of tying their shoes up and getting to work. Right? There's no such thing. An open marriage is a dissolved marriage. Don't let these people fool you. Just the fact that we talk about it like it's normal, let y'all know how crazy it is at this point. But what do I know? Shout out to Lapeef. Make sure y'all hit the like button. I appreciate you, guys.
Shout out to my boy Ricky. I appreciate you, bro.
Hey,
Ricky, I seen you over here you was up here cooking on a Lapeef Let's Talk show before. I heard you cooking before, bro.
Hey, man, it's the best platform on YouTube right now. Don't sleep on your boy.
Thank you.
Damn, I know that's right. I know that's right.
Thank you, sir, man. I'm gonna definitely tap in with you, brother. I ain't forgot about it.
For sure, God.
Right on, Rick.
All right. Man, Ricky always come through with that wisdom, man. I look forward to hearing it every time we go live. Start bringing these people up. As I bring you guys up, make sure you guys get to your points. Let's go ahead and make sure we're able to get everybody else in. What's going on, Carrot Juice Podcast? How you doing, sir?
Shout out to Carrot Juice. I rock with Carrot Juice. That's
Yo, what's up? How y'all doing? Do I sound okay?
Juice.
Yeah, you sound good.
University of Michigan. I love this dude.
Ann Arbor, baby. Let's go. But yeah, I just wanted to chime in on the conversation. Something that I haven't heard brought up yet has to do with a lot of people who are in relationships and that are married. How many marriages end because of infidelity? People stepping out, whether the person knows it or not. So my thing is, I think that an open marriage, if it's going to keep the marriage together and you're open and honest about it and you're being safe, because let's be honest, a lot of people are stepping out on people. It is a way to be able to mitigate and have health and safety. And I wouldn't be happy about it, but I would consider it after 10 or 15 years, and it wouldn't be any men involved. I would allow for a lady to come in if she's cool with that. That's like my position on it as far as right now. But I've never cheated on anyone. I've never cheated on a significant other. But something that a lot of people say is you could have the most beautiful woman in the world, Beyonce, for instance, Rihanna, for instance. After enough time, that's a woman that a man is tired of sleeping with. So there's no woman that's going to be able to satisfy you sexually for a lifetime. So if it's an option to be able to keep your marriage together, as long as you're open and honest with one another, I think it's something that should be explored, as long as it's done with respect. And especially when you consider health and safety, because so many people are doing stuff behind people's back. And that's why you got rampant STDs starting to happen in communities, especially in the industry.
Yo, Carrot Juice, I will say that I've never been more obsessed with my chick than I have been today.
That's my position on that.
17 years later, I've never been more obsessed with my chick than I am right now. Real talk. Every year, it's crazy because it seemed like I'm obsessed and adore and love rocking with this chick and is just sexually attracted to her more than I ever have been the year before, bro. I don't believe that you can't, that it's entirely just based, like they can't satisfy you. I just don't believe that, bro. Honestly. I think it's based off of me. I think it's based off of my perception and my mentality. I think that we open ourselves up to the perspective of what the world at large is embracing and when did they get it right. I think that once you move a certain type of way and the more you intimately connect it, the more you build, the greater the experience is. Even a sexual experience in itself, think about it, is much more euphoric when you're mentally connected with the person. It's not just about the act itself. It's when you connect it with this woman in a way, and the more connected y'all become and the more dope y'all experiences are, like it becomes even more exceptional. So I don't know. I don't believe that, bro.
What we also need to take into consideration too. There's gonna be a time where things just ain't happening no more. So I mean, is that all your relationships gonna be built on is just sex? No, it can't be. It can't be, because at the end of the day, you want to grow old with your partner, your spouse. At least I do. You know, I mean, there's gonna be some day that look, he ain't gonna get up no more. Shit, I gotta move on and keep it going.
Can I add one thing? Did you guys ever consider this part? What happens if you're married, right? You're married, you love one another, your wife is banging body, everything. After 7 or 8 years or 10 years, something happens, car accident. She's paralyzed from the waist down or the neck down. You still married. You still stand by her. Are you supposed to not have sex for the rest of your life?
I will not, bro. Listen, let me tell you something. I don't care what happened. I don't care if they lose if she lose both her, God forbid, she lose both her arms and her legs. I'm there forever. I'm not leaving ever. And not only that, I'm not removing myself from the commitment that I made as far as upholding my vows. I'm the same way I'm operating with her when I was, you know what I'm saying, when she was great. I don't abandon ship and then move over and do something different all of a sudden just because I got some kind of different sexual. I'm going to figure that junk out, but I'm going to figure it out with her. I'm not ever moving away from what it is that I committed to. I made a commitment. I'm rocking with it. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to be even more connected with her because it's beyond, it's, as Hink said, it's beyond just your sexual desires, bro. Like, I'm the type of dude, I'm willing to go the rest of my life if I'm single without ever having sex again if I have to. Like, it's not about that, bro. For me, real talk, I'm just gonna be real with you, bro. I'm not moving away from that. Like, when I say I'm married for the rest of my life, I'm married for the rest of my life. I'm not moving away from that, bro. Ever.
Hey, Carrie Juice, can I ask your age?
I'm 33.
Okay.
Yeah. And open marriage, just a disclaimer, open marriage has a 7% success rate.
And I bet that's when there's just women being brought in, because it's easy on a man's ego to bring in another woman into a situation, but everything changes when it's another man. And I think that the majority of the controversy is likely because Ayesha is the one that's initiating this, and she's still married to Steph. We all can assume that Steph has probably been around the block since he's been in the league, and had the stature that he's had, especially since being a champion. So it's probably not outrageous. I mean, he kicks it with all kinds of people away from the game. So it's not outrageous to assume that he's probably stepped out maybe once or twice here and there. But the shock value is when our thoughts of Ayesha going out and bringing another man into the situation. So I think that is destined to fail, only because it's so motivated on just going out and finding some new person to sex on, when it's also marriage is supposed to be about so much more than that, especially when you have kids and you done brought an entire lifestyle into it, and all of a sudden you're looking to make this other move. It's really a sign of something bigger that needs to be addressed versus it just being some kind of physical lack that is happening within your marriage. So I think that you may as well just get divorced or separate, or really work through that before you go bringing somebody else into your situation.
Yeah, I do kind of want to say a couple things. I'm listening to Carrot Juice, and I kind of understand his perspective. It doesn't make it right. But what I can say, based off what's been said already, is that, and I've been in situations. So if you give 100% to your marriage or like your relationship, it's different. It's different. A lot of men, if they've been dealing with women before the marriage and they still dealing with women, while they're married, you're not going to really be able to unfold like the highest potential of what their marriage can be. You're not going to really experience that connection. Like, having sex with a connection is different for the woman. I mean, like, you can mentally grab her in a way that will be hard for another man to be able to come in. So I think that a lot of men have to give 100% to their marriages. Otherwise, it's going to fold. She may want to look to cheat on you or be open to having an open marriage because she's not mentally satisfied. So I think that if you want to grab any woman, if you mentally grab her, then basically you control her. You control how she moves. You control how she responds. Like, you in the driver's seat when you have her mentally. And that's, just a fact. But I kind of forgot my other point, but I just want to put that out there.
Hey, JR, how long have I been saying this? We remember we did a show with B Knicks and everybody in a while back, a long time ago. And we was talking about, and we posed the same question: what would you do in this exact same scenario? Bro, I'm trying to tell y'all, bro, I feel even stronger about my position than I did back there. Like, I'm never, ever walking away from my chick. Ever.
And then I also want to say this too. So if you married and you guys are not 100% vested in each other, when it does start working, it's going to be easier for her to make that decision to want to look elsewhere because you guys haven't built nothing. Like, you guys been married. He was doing what he was doing. She knows that he's been doing what he's doing, or she isn't mentally satisfied, and y'all just there for whatever reason, maybe for the kids, and then maybe y'all decide y'all might want to still keep it together for business purposes. for the advantages of staying married when it comes to retirement. And once it start working, that's like the draw. So then she is going to look someone else. So you have to set that foundation and what it is that you want in the beginning, so you don't have to be so concerned later. Like whenever you grow old together, you shouldn't be concerned about like what if they leave. That should be the furthest thing from your mind. You want to be looking to travel, enjoy life, creating more experiences, like the happiness, creating legacies, creating moments, and so forth. But if you guys have built that foundation off of nothing, then you can't expect to have anything better than that.
I think what makes this the most shocking is it's like, damn, is open marriage, if this is true, open marriage is being discussed and possibly done allegedly with Steph Curry? I mean, the model example of what marriage is in the public eye right now, greatest shooter ever. I mean, on his purpose, doing everything. So I think when men see that, they're like, damn, what chance do I have?
Come follow Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I'm gonna get you right, bro.
But
not you, but these guys.
But that's what I'm thinking. Like what men are
thinking. Or you can go and follow Hank. He gonna get y'all right.
But you see what I'm saying? I think that's what men are thinking. Like, man,
you know that's right, baby.
What am I supposed to do?
Hey, I look at it like this though, man. Nowadays, it's acceptable. That's the unfortunate thing. It's acceptable. Nobody's gonna look down upon that man if he does have come out and say, I have an open relationship. Nobody's gonna look down upon him because that's the way society is right now. And it's unfortunate. I couldn't deal with it. It couldn't be me. Man, I wish them nothing but the best. If that's what they got to do, man, Lord be with them. Ain't no way we're going to do this in the Hinkle household. We're not doing it in Hink's house.
Okay. I'm going to bring some other people in real quick. What's going on? Trayvon Watts, welcome to the show, brother. What you got for us?
Peace, man.
Hey, Carrot Juice, I appreciate you. I'm going to get you off so I get some other guys in. Thank you, sir.
Right. I watch the show, man, faithfully. Everybody's platform. Y'all doing an excellent job.
Nice hat.
I wanted to clarify something, or at least ask a question or something to Anton. I think earlier we was talking about how to generate. I thought, correct me if I'm wrong. I think he said something about the generations have failed us in terms of the perception that they gave off. Did I misquote that, Anton?
No, you pretty much on point. Yeah, for the most part. You ain't got to be.
I had something to say to that point at that particular time. I actually take a different approach to it. I think the generations before were very transparent in ways. You know, I don't think generations before tried to present a perfect marriage to us. I think they showed us everything, man. I think before, you know, I can take my grandparents for example. You know, my grandfather had 10 kids total. You know, and he worked, you know, three or four different jobs in order to do what he had to do for the family as a man. He kind of set the examples for us. But he showed us the struggle. It was kind of like, yeah, I may have had all these kids, but as a man, I'm going to do what I need to do and handle my responsibilities to take care of what I need to take care of in this household, and hold this household down. You know, if we didn't have money, you know, I'm going to figure it out. If we're struggling internally in our marriage, you know, I'm not like we were talking about earlier, divorce stuff. I'm not going to bail out on my wife. My wife is not going to bail out on me. You know, we said vows, we got married, we made a commitment to God, and we're going to figure this out. And so that's actually one of the things that I miss about their generation is that they were so transparent in that regard. And nowadays, I can't remember who said it. Someone said it earlier. We treat marriage as an abortion. You know, it's easy, it's quick. Nobody cares anymore. Nobody has any principles. No one stands on anything. And then to the second point, like my man said, man, nothing's new under the sun. People have done this for a long time, as far as just not caring and things like that. But I think as time goes on, things just get worse off. You know, I guess it gets stronger to a heightened degree. And I think there might be a few things that we haven't seen in the past before, but there's really nothing new under the sun. But I just challenge that. I don't know, that thought process, at least for me, because I felt like things were so much different back then. And now it's changed slightly. Like, we're starting to be okay with things that are not supposed to be normal.
So let me push back on that. I did. Oh, go ahead, Jay. I'm sorry.
Nah, real quick. I just want to say, first of all, like the hat. Second of all, back then we had Big Mama. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had that grandmother, that wise person that went through all of it. Now the grandmoms are beneath Burgos. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that shit like, literally, that's a grandmother. So, and you look at how she's moving. We don't have that wisdom, that person, that pillar to, give you the game no more, man. The people that's out here, the OGs is 26 years old. The big
but Jay, they
homies
didn't give us the game. They didn't give us the game. I'm gonna tell you why they didn't give us the game, and this is why I'm pushing back, Trayvon. I did a show. Oh man, this had to be less than a month ago, where I asked people. I said, do y'all think that y'all grandmother and grandfather and great grandmother and grandfather, do y'all think that they ever cheated or anything like that? Overwhelmingly, if I'm not mistaken, I did a poll. It was over 90%. Was like, nah, they ain't never did none of that. They ain't never did none of that. They wasn't involved in it and none of that, bro. Let me tell you something, bro. Thank God it wasn't real, like a bunch of DNA tests out back then.
Facts.
Half of these people that think that they daddy is they daddy wasn't they daddy, bro. Real spill. And so what they did was they protected the image. What they said was, your grandmother is perfect. And she gave her life to God. And she's praising and she's serving on the board at church. And what they didn't do is they didn't give you the blueprint as to how they was to overcome all of their issues and their options, because what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to not let the generation after us go through some of the same things that we went through to the extent that we went through it. We want them to learn a lesson, but we want them to be better than we were. Ultimately, what you're seeing today is that people are worse off than they ever have been because they didn't get the lesson, and people are so more concerned with protecting the image and the perspective than they are about giving the lessons. And so that's why I say that they failed us, is because the perception doesn't necessarily yield the results. The lessons is what yield the results, and they didn't give that to us. They just gave us a perfect image.
So you think they did it? So I see what you're saying. You think they did a good job about hiding the things that were going on?
100%. They did a better job hiding it, but I don't think that they was any better than the people are today at all. Not even a little bit. I think that they might have been worse than we are today.
That's a fair point.
I want to say this, man. I found out my grandfather had a son when I was like the age of like 12. I never knew nothing about it. I said, why you guys didn't tell me this? He had a whole son, and he was never a part of our family, so to speak. He was just on the other side. I still to this day, I don't know too much about him. I don't hear nothing about him. I just knew that he had a son. I think we've seen him one time. At least I seen him one time. But to everybody else, it appeared to be like everything was perfect. And my grandmama knew about it. Like, she knew about it, but nobody never told me.
But that kind of relates to what we were talking about earlier in terms of does the image have to be perfect in order for it? Maybe I interpreted the question as, in order for it to work, does it have to be perfect? And I think, and to a certain extent, I mean, yeah, lies have to be told. You kind of got to omit some truths here and there. You really can't, you really
Kyle,
can't.
That's the wrong way. We've been conditioned to believe that, bro. We've been conditioned to believe that is true. And I'm telling you that we need to do the opposite. We need to be transparent. We need to live our lives like an open book, not necessarily for the public at large, but for the people that we affect, the kids and all of that. We need to empower them with the right information on how they can overcome and be more. Listen, I could tell you, yeah, it's good to go start a business. Look, I'm a successful businessman. Look, I'm a great content creator. Look at but the value is not telling you to go do it. The value is telling you what you can overcome and the pitfalls that come along with being a content creator. I want to show you how to get your images right, what you need to do long term. Hey, don't create content just for today. Create content that people gonna tap into and click on for the next 20 years, right? Like there's a lot of lessons that go along in it. I'm not interested in being presented perfectly and just making it work. And that's why I add the caveat, successfully married. I don't just want to be married for a long time. I don't want to just be married till I die. I want to be successfully married. That's the blueprint that I'm trying to pass on to people. I don't want to just have a business. It's a bunch of people that got a title and they got a business. I want to have a successful business. And so we need to start adding these caveats, because when we do, then we ask different questions, we present different information, and we start to empower people. It's not about being right. It's about the results. And if they didn't give us the results that we needed in order to be successfully married and successful in our business and all of this other type of stuff, I think that you become much more relevant when you show that you're an overcomer instead of showing that you're perfect.
To Hink's point, yeah, I think there's still some of those big mamas left out there, but for a lot of them, they gone, passed away, things like that. And to Anton's point, to also talk about the mistakes that was made back then, to give us the good with the bad, so I agree with that.
Okay. All right, Trayvon Watts, I appreciate you calling in. I'm gonna filter through some of these calls. Thanks for the support.
I appreciate y'all, fellas.
All right, thank you. The Brick Slinger, what's going on, sir? How you doing?
Oh,
good afternoon, fellas. Another dope conversation.
What'd you say, Anton?
No, I was looking at the name. When I think of Brick Slinger, I think of we think of it a little differently. You know what I'm saying?
All
right. I totally understand. Based upon the topic of open marriage, like I say, dope discussions so far. I've come to an understanding where an open marriage leads to open consequences. I believe one of the questions deals with being selfish in a way. Am I right, JR?
Say that again.
I was wondering, like, one of the questions that deals with selfishness. Does it involve?
Yeah, the question that I had about was like the Christian belief system. Was it a selfish mentality to have an open marriage?
Yeah, I strongly believe that it is a selfish mentality, due to the point where no matter what party recommended the idea of an open marriage, it leads to something other than what was supposed to be the goal of an open marriage, whether it's to please the partner sexually or whatever the case may be. It definitely leads to something that nobody is practically prepared for, whether it's dealing with the wife dealing with her insecurity or what she wanted but did not expect. Husband, same thing. And even the other person that gets involved into this quote unquote open marriage, it leads to other consequences that folks are not really prepared for. That's why one of the panelists mentioned the success rate of an open marriage is not even a double digit percentage. It's a very low percentage. So if anything, whether it's a mainstream thing or a regular people thing, open marriage definitely leads to open consequences, and it's never been 100% good. And I hope it's a clear understanding from everybody.
Okay. All right, Brick Sling, I definitely appreciate that. That's a good perspective. All right, I'm gonna keep it moving. Thank you, sir. Thanks for the support.
All right.
All right.
I think the number is so low on this open marriage thing because a lot of men can't really pull it off. Like, how many men actually got the swag, the game, the talk, the move to even get a second girl involved and then be able to convince their wife to be cool with it? Like, so 7%, I mean, that doesn't shock me.
Bro, half of these dudes can't hold down one chick. Like, show me that you can master the chick you got and then start talking to me about an open relationship. I don't want to. First of all, don't talk to me about no open marriage at all, because I'm not letting no dude just touch my chick at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm selfish. I am very selfish.
Nope.
But these dudes is out here talking about I can't even get a chick to fall under my covering and my submission, and you supposed to master it twice. You gonna double up? Nah, I'm a pass on that. I'll call cap.
What's going on, DeJuan Johnson? Welcome to the show, young man.
Hey, what's going on again, guys?
Not much. What you got for us, brother?
So you guys are talking about open marriages and stuff. One thing that I kind of learned about marriage on the forefront, pretty much when two people are coming together, it's kind of like a thing where you guys are signing like a bond between the both of you, like spiritually, saying that you're going to try to make the best. You're going to pretty much fight the world together, whatever, like all the challenges and tribulations and all that stuff. Understood. Like, that's pretty much what marriage is. That's pretty much what it is. The thing is that through society's standpoints, whatever, a woman's chastity is on the same value as like a high value man. So Anton says that, well, we know Anton's successful. So therefore, he has a successful marriage, all that stuff. The thing is that he brings enough to the table in which, his woman respects him. So the thing about this open marriage thing is that by default, a man is supposed to bring something to the table in order to court a woman of, looks, whatever, because, women are usually based off of to men by looks, chastity, the ability to procreate. So just that in itself makes her valuable. But, successful men, whatever, are supposed to be on the same level as a woman's looks. So the thing is that a man has to bring so much to the table to even get the woman to want to follow him in the first place. So I'm not I didn't get the whole the full story about how this open marriage thing whatever came to be, but it sounds like possibly people are wanting to step out of the marriage. And the thing is that at some point you got to figure out a way to show self-control, because we all got urges and stuff like that, but if you weren't telling this from the get-go, it's one of those things where like Anton said, you don't bring something to a table and then expect to let another man whatever just walk in and touch your woman. That's how most men think. And the thing is that if that's something that she wants to do, I'm assuming that this is possibly a she thing. But the thing is, it could be a him thing too. I don't know. But the thing is that it shouldn't be allowed in the first place. And if it's supposed to be allowed, whatever, it should be something that's talked about. And if they're talking about it, what's the rules for it? Because, no men really likes promiscuous women, whatever. So therefore, it's kind of bad on both parties, because the thing is that biologically, men don't want to take care of kids that's not theirs. So if you open up a marriage, whatever, and everybody's agreeing to this, whatever, you turn around, you get pregnant, whatever, it may or may not be your kid. And then like they say, it's cheaper to keep her. So the thing is that why would you put yourself in a situation in which you can have you could be raising a kid that's possibly not yours. So I would just say, as a person who was once married and from a person who was asked about an open relationship, if a woman's asking you about an open relationship, that means she's done respecting you.
Okay.
Shout out to you, DeJuan.
Hey, what's going on?
Where you from, bro?
I'm from Indianapolis. I just moved to Florida.
Oh, okay, that's what's up. What part? Any South Florida?
I'm in Tallahassee.
Okay, shout out to you, fam.
Hey, thanks, man.
All right, Mr. Johnson, definitely appreciate you calling in. Thank you, sir. All right, you have a good one. What's going on, brother Clarence?
What's going on, brothers? How y'all doing this morning, man?
Nothing much. What's going on?
All right, and so
What's happening, big brother?
Nothing much, man. Heard y'all talking about this topic. I wanted to just stop by real quick, man, and throw my 2 cents in. I heard the brother earlier saying that divorce was a cop out. I disagree with that because sometimes divorce can be a mercy to the other people involved. If you have a marriage that's very, very miserable and very abusive, divorce might be a way to give mercy to the people that's actually involved, the children and other family members that's involved. So I wouldn't say divorce is you copping out because of divorce. Is a case by case situation. You know what I mean? In my opinion. You know what I mean? I am for marriage. I've been married a long time myself. So I'm for marriage. I think men should ultimately, if they have the opportunity and the mindset to do it. But I think a lot of our young men are going into marriage not knowing how to go into it, not knowing how to pick the person, not knowing how to look at their life, examine their lifestyle, examine the kind of woman that they're picking. And then they get into it, and then it turns into a problem, and then they say, oh, these women are so bad. But what ends up happening is you divorce one and you pick the same woman in another form, you know what I'm saying? It's basically the same woman in another, color birthday suit or whatever, right? So I think that, divorce will answer some questions. It's hard. I'm not saying everybody should do it, and I'm not saying we should do it for selfish reasons, but there are some points and times in marriages where divorce is a mercy, just like slavery is a mercy. Instead of killing everybody that you just overran their country, you take the women and the children hiding under tables as slaves and let them work their way into freedom, into a new society. Or at least that's what the Africans used to do. But anyway, that was my point on that. I don't know if anybody has some pushback on any of that.
I don't think marriage, I mean, to say it's not a cop out, it would have to be for specific reasons. But I think majority of the time, I think it's a cop out.
Why so?
Well, I think majority of the time people give up, or people think got to be perfect, or they're leaving for their own selfish desires. You know, they're not holding themselves higher than themselves, like the family or like the kids. They're kind of doing what's make them happy. So I think holistically, most of the time it's a cop out. But there are specific times where I think, like, say the man is going crazy, he just bucking whoever and getting babies or getting diseases, like on the woman's ends. I mean, yeah, you should divorce him. And then if the woman, if she's over here doing some, either spending all your money or, having sex and getting, like, there's certain things, but those are the extremes. But I think majority of the time it's a cop out.
So you don't think that misery is a reason to walk out of a marriage? If you're miserable and she's miserable, say
they want nothing about happiness in them vows you took.
Gotcha.
And if you ain't ready for that, don't take them vows.
Let me ask you a question, brother. Do you think that the misery that you are displaying to the children can negatively affect those children even into their adult years?
The misery is the I blame the men if that's the case. You're saying the whole miserable. If your household is miserable, that's on you as the dude. You're not running your house. You're not checking everything. You're not on your purpose. Something is wrong. And I'm thinking more so on the men. If you so damn miserable.
Facts.
If everything is so miserable in your house, then it's more on you.
Facts.
It's not on anybody else. Get your shit together and get your life together. And then if your girl sees you got your life together and you're on your purpose, she should be down and happy. If she respects you, she should be cool. If the kids see you doing what you got to do, paying the bills, you're not out here drinking and doing all this hot weight, craziness, you should be fine. You're talking about them being unhappy or you being unhappy. You're probably unhappy about the stuff you haven't accomplished or you think you could have done or whatever it is, and you're taking that on other people.
How old are you, Sway? How old are you, Sway?
I'm 22. I turned 23 in January.
You speak like a 50-year-old man, my friend.
That's what my girl said too.
I'm 53. He's not speaking like a 53-year-old man. I'm 53 with 32 years of marriage. So he's definitely speaking like someone who hasn't, who stood outside the water park talking about how fun the water park is.
So, Brother Clarence, wait, hold on.
It's fine. He got his opinion. I got mine.
Hold on, Sway. So, Brother Clarence, you think that it's okay to go back on your vows to death do us part, for better or for worse?
Sir, I don't.
An oath?
No, sir, I don't. So let me qualify what I'm saying. I'm saying that you have to go and see. The problem with marriage is marriage is dynamic. It changes. Every people evolve. You think marriage on the first day is not going to be like on year 50. It's not. It's going to be evolving, constantly evolving. You're going to constantly have to be checking your partner and making sure they're okay and seeing which direction they're going. If they're going in a errant direction, that's when. Now I agree with Sway on this one. You have to check and see which direction the person is going, and then you have to decide. Okay, can I lead that person back? If they can come back, then cool, we can stay together. But
they should be on your direction. If you don't have direction, is when they try to find their own shit. If you got direction as the man and the leader, your girl can see that and she will hop on board. The only time they try to digress, if they feel like whatever you're doing is going to put harm or discomfort to them, is when they start questioning you and start trying to go different paths, or they're bored or something, like I said. But if you are stimulating her enough where she has stuff to do, if she got a job, that's fine, or she taking care of the kids, that's fine. But to say that it's not a cop-out to leave most of the time because you're quote-unquote unhappy, I mean, there was nothing about
disagree with that, Clarence?
Why are you happy? Why are you unhappy? That's my biggest thing.
I disagree with it being unqualified. If he would qualify it by saying, I disagree, I disagree with people leaving just because they're unhappy. Everything's good, everything's great in the marriage, and the only reason why you're leaving is because you got to do that work that's better looking or whatever, and it's trying to get at you, and you finally say, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it because in that type of situation, yeah. But to just say this is the only reason why your woman's gonna leave is because you got an issue. No, I disagree with that. And if you guys going into marriage thinking like that, that's gonna really.
I've been married for a long time, and I think that it falls at the top, and it's based off of leadership.
Well, it is.
I agree 100% with what he's saying.
It is based off of leadership, but things can happen. A person can get in this world where there's so much evil out there, they can get distracted by the evil that's out there, and before you know it.
But isn't provision and protection part of your protection as a man? Is to remove all of those distractions and to put your chick in a space to where she's not in those spaces in the first place? I mean, because I've never heard a leader say but.
But you can only teach the willing, brother. I mean, if she's not willing to look at it that way,
but why would
she be your wife?
Hold on, Sway. Why wouldn't she be willingly submissive if you the leader of your household?
Because people change, brother. Things change. People can change, rather, I should say. People can change. You could be a good leader, but people change, right? Jesus took all these dudes, healed all these people, man, and they still, hey, kill him. Right, the people let him get killed. Right?
No. We're talking about women and men.
But I'm talking about how people can change under leadership.
Who changed? Nobody changed. Nobody changed when it came to the crucifixion of Jesus. Everybody did exactly what they were supposed to do. Nobody.
That's what I'm saying. But they was like, I'm with you no matter what. Right? Until that part came. That's what I'm saying. They didn't go into it with vows. We talking about going into it with vows. Vows are the seatbelts for when things get bumpy in a marriage, right?
No.
And I'm with that.
No, they're not.
They're not.
They're not.
What's the vow for?
The vow is your word. As a man, you making a commitment before God in front of witnesses because that's the contract that you're making along the way. It's not a seatbelt. A seatbelt, listen, a seatbelt don't protect you from dying. It ain't a seatbelt. It's a commitment. It's a covenant.
Wait a minute. Nothing's gonna protect you in a marriage. When you sign a marriage certificate, look on there. The word guarantee is nowhere on there.
We're not talking about guarantee, but at the same time, again, I don't say but, it's and. I solve for the problem. I control what happens in my marriage and my household. It's not even up to her. This is a dictatorship. This is a benevolent dictatorship. This is not a partnership.
But I'm not disagreeing with that.
But my point is that I don't make excuses It's black or white for me. I'm never on the fence. I'm never in a gray area, and I'm never middle road. Either you win or you lose. Either you're the man that you're supposed to be or you're not. Like, I believe that being successful in anything requires you to be definitive in what it is. It ain't no but. It ain't no choices. None of that.
We agreed there.
So why do you disagree with Sway?
I disagree with him because he's not qualifying what he's saying. See, in a marriage, just like business, you go into a business with a partner, and the partner says, "Oh, don't worry, we're going to split this money the way we," and then you go into the business, and some kind of way the partner goes astray or does something.
But this is not a partnership.
Hold on. My thing is, I put more responsibility all the way back to you doing business with this person. That's what I'm saying. I chose this woman. It's my fault now. I'm supposed to be the leader. I chose her. It's just the same way you chose to do business with that person and he did whatever and messed you up. That's your choice. That was your choice. You could have chose not to do that. There are a lot of signs that you can see before you get married to somebody that you can say, this ain't it. But a lot of guys are desperate for poon and they don't think they can get other things or they don't want to keep trying. Like, most men don't got an abundance of women just ready to throw themselves at them. So most men got to take what they can get. So
agreed.
I mean,
but I'm saying
I put more responsibility on the guys than I do anything.
Most guys get married for two reasons. Two reasons are most, in my opinion, they get married because the woman can maintain a high level of sexual tension in the relationship to make them ignore the red flags that they're seeing. They will discard the red flags because the woman is able to keep the sexual tensions very, very high, right? In that case, like you said, it's our fault, right? We followed the sexual tension down to this road. Now what are we going to do? Okay. Then the other circumstance is when they do see these red flags, they don't address them. They don't address them. Like we said, because I agree with you guys. It does take leadership. You have to go in but the problem is, like you said, most guys ain't willing to say, okay, well, if you're not going to stay on my program, hey, let's go our separate ways. Let's go our separate ways. But see, most guys ain't willing to do that. Why? Because they got a steady stream of sexual attention coming their way. And
that doesn't disprove what I'm saying, though. That even more proves what I'm saying, that it falls more on the guys in the end all be all, because if you're choosing the woman to be your wife at the end all be all, you have control over who gets married. They got control over who gets sex and kids. So if you're going to marry a woman, it's going to all fall on you. That's my thing.
I agree with all that. All I'm saying is that sometimes there are going to be unforeseen circumstances that you may have to deal with in a marriage that doesn't reflect on your leadership. It's just that the woman or the other person may have gotten distracted by some other issue, and then are you able to pull them back into the loop? If you can, you can. If you can't, you can't. But that doesn't that doesn't mean necessarily it's a reflection on me. If you don't want to roll with my program no more, cool. Adios.
I agree with that.
All right, brother Clarence. Thank you for calling in, brother. Thanks for your support.
Thank you, brother. Come on.
All right. Dr. H19D. I know you was Cam.
Dr. Hood. What's going on, bro?
Hood. Okay.
Now, I was doing my little morning thing. I didn't want to be on the, with the cam on. But how y'all fellas doing?
Doing fine. About yourself? What you got for us?
I'm pretty good. Now, me, I like to, independent thinker. I think OG was on point, to say the least. And Sway, he seemed like a cool dude. He on the right path. And, if you, just like anything else, taking care of your body, sports, anything, if you stay on it at a young age and nurture, everything that you're doing, of course you're going to have a great outcome. But, 22, 23 is a little young. And, I think OG was speaking more to the experience level that you got to have to be able to, speak. I mean, he got the information. You could tell, and he's listening. But OG, things can happen between 23, 33, 43, like a lot of things happen that, you really can't control as far as relationships.
Control,
well, I mean, you don't really cookie cutter just know how the relationship is going to turn out, Just like, I seen a little Ayesha Curry, Steph and Curry type of little caption in the beginning when you guys jumped in. Well, not at the beginning, but when I first saw it, and he didn't realize that was gonna happen. A guy, they want to make the right decision. He ain't gonna know that, old girl just gonna flip out after she get in a position of power. They gonna change, from the day you marry them, and then they have 2-3 kids or whatever. It's definitely gonna be different. Now, if it's for the better, it's for the better. If it's for the worse, that's something that you got to be aware of and know how to deal and adjust to it.
So you don't think that as a man you control that narrative all the way along the way? I dictate what happens. Yo, what are you doing?
Well, you do, and the responsibility and all of that. That's on you. Like I said, that was the decision that you made, but you can't control how who comes in and out of other people's life and what they do.
Yes, I can. Your friends is for the streets. We don't do them type of friends. Go ahead and get you some married friends. We don't play that game. What you talking about? I control
my girl of 4 months. She had 2 friends that literally they didn't do anything. I said, you got to stop hanging out with them. You literally do nothing with it. No productivity or nothing. And they single, so they're not going to give you good advice if you start.
So this is a marriage.
But I'm saying I've set it up from the jump. I'm not waiting years down the line for her me to flip up and bring up things like, oh, you can't hang out with those people. I'm already from the jump. I'm saying what I want and what I expect, and what even later on, if you want me to marry you, these are going to things that I'm going to expect out of you. I don't think you were here earlier, but she doesn't cook like that. And I told her, I said, it's cool that you can't cook right now. You don't do it right now, but at some point you're going to have to learn and do it more often. If you expect me to marry you and give you kids, this is what I want out of my wife. And if you don't want to do that, then you don't have to be on board. There are a lot of guys out here who will take you and do whatever you want. Go back for the streets if you want, but I'm not going to fold on the things I want out of my woman from the jump.
Yeah. I think it's a process. You got to definitely vet out and sift it out and be smart about the decisions you make. I wouldn't suggest a man to jump into it early, just like, Antoine, I've been kind of following him. He's got a good situation, but that's not going to be everybody's situation. You feel me?
I can give you the blueprint. I'm selling it. I'm gonna sell the blueprint for $3.
Well, I think like
I'm giving it to him for cheap, $3.
All of us on the panel, we coming from different sides of the country, everything, and we're the unique thing about all of us is that we're seeking knowledge. And the key is that we're going to be the men that are bringing up the new generation of ladies that men can get lucky like Antoine. You see what I'm saying? Like everybody's not going to get lucky.
Not luck, man.
I mean, to find somebody at, let's say 20 years old.
I didn't find her. I groomed her. It's a difference.
Okay, but still at 20 years old. And then let's just say 40 years old, that person still has the burning desire, the ambition, everything, and still wants to be 100% behind you. That's not all intention. That's not no luck. But listen, like we always talk about percentages though. I watch you guys. We talk about
I'm gonna have 100% success rate.
See, we talking about an even smaller success rate. For somebody to meet somebody at 20 years old and 40 years old, that person's going to be all the way on board, no distractions. Yeah, you could, this friend, that friend, but we talking about 20 years. And that's what OG was talking about, because he see this 23-year-old man that's intelligent. You got a good thing going on, eating organic or, whatever, but that's a long time. That's all I'm saying. And it's going to be a long time. You're going to get wiser and everything too.
I mean, to add some anecdote to this, to add some anecdote, in regards to Steph Curry and Ayesha Curry, they were talking. I mean, I think they've known each other since high school. So okay. I'm sure if you were to ask Steph what kind of woman Ayesha is, I'm sure when you ask him that at 21, it's going to be a completely different answer today at 31 or 32 or whatever they are. Right. So, but I think Sway might have mentioned it, that there's plenty of signs along the way that's going to allow you to really know who you're dealing with. And I would believe the same situation with Steph. You know, there was plenty of signs when they were younger, maybe some of the ways they got together, whatever it is, that kind of was forewarning him that this was eventually going to be their situation.
Nah,
so,
bro. If he'd have controlled that and manned that up and not played the partnership role like a lot of these men out here is doing, he would have had a success rate. She wouldn't even be operating the way that she's supposed to. You got to own that as a man.
He getting his 10,000 hours in the gym though. He don't have time
cool.
for all of that.
You think LeBron's wife
I work
is looking out?
16 to 18 hours a day. I don't even breathe half time.
Yeah, LeBron. See, now we talking about the 2%. You know, you want if you want to bring LeBron's wife, then we got to talk about the other 2%.
Everybody allow his girl to even think about other men. He gonna be like, "The fuck you talking about going on social media? I want other attention from men." Like he would have checked that from the jump. What are you talking about?
But that's after the kids though. See, that's what I'm saying, Sway.
He didn't even check it. He just allowed her to go and do
it.
But
He can't. He already in the marriage. She already in a position of power. See, us men, we can't be naive to this, right? You know, I know it's the internet. And you know you want to say the right thing. You know everything. Everybody want to be perfect, right? That's it. That's it. But we can't be naive. Like once women are very. They're sneaky creatures.
Ain't nobody more transparent about their life on the internet than me.
I'm not acting like women ain't out here for.
I'm not speaking to nobody in general.
I'm not saying women women aren't out here trying to finesse dudes or don't finesse dudes or have never finessed dudes. I'm saying I put more responsibility for the dudes. Like, how are you going to allow yourself to get finessed? Like sometimes it is hard. Like sometimes they chameleons and they wait until they get married. They literally flip. But for the most part, you can see like the signs that some guys just settle or they just like, nah, she'll change or I'll try to do something about it. Like they don't actually make her do anything. They just allow her to be her and then you just accept it because you just want some poon.
No, I mean you're right, and when you say most, see that we always got to keep the percentages in, you know, when we're talking, because you know other people listen and they don't know nothing about, you know, they just gonna hear a clip and just run. So when you're saying most, that's true, most. But when we want to bring LeBron's girl into the situation, somebody that you know don't want attention, want to just the AAU mom.
All right, y'all. All right, y'all. We're about to ready to end the show, but before we do, I think I just want to highlight this real quick.
Appreciate y'all, man.
I appreciate you. You know, Dr. Hood, you did say something that we all here to learn and everything, right? I just would rather push the narrative of the men leading with the understanding that this is not going to happen. If we lead by saying it's the possibility, then I don't consider that being, I mean, you understanding in the back of your head, you may think that, but I don't think you should be speaking that out loud. I think you need to have control and say, this is not going to happen. This is what I'm not going to allow to happen. So that's just my take on it. But we appreciate you guys for tuning in to Lapeef Sports. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Also hit that like button. Appreciate all the super chats and the constant support, the engagement through the chats. The chat was definitely lit today.
Yes, it was.
Amira should be streaming tonight, so make sure you guys look out for that. Thank you guys. Panel, thank you. And I'll be accepting with you guys. It's been real. All right.
I'll see y'all in 2022.
Yeah.
Let's go, JR.
All right. Appreciate the support, y'all. Make sure you hit that like button. Also subscribe to the channel. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Make sure y'all guys cop them hoodies too, man, on lapeef.com. Them hoodies are available. I'm down to the last little bit, so make sure you guys hit it up. We got new merch coming along the way. Shout out to the sponsor, Tej Hanley. Make sure you guys click that link that's in the description. Get yourself a free gift. Shout out to Tej Hanley. Also, make sure y'all brush y'all teeth mid-morning. We're brushing our teeth 3 times a day, y'all. Morning, midday, and evening. Floss at night. Floss at night so your teeth and your gums can breathe overnight. Make sure y'all keep them feet warm overnight, man. Put your socks on. Don't let them feet be cold.